Like, I ain't know about that fight until I see
I'm
a
about to say, I
promo on
ain't even hear
Instagram.
about that shit. Who he fighting?
Who's he fighting?
What about that?
I
Cause
might
when is Canelo in that
When
Taylor
is-
Plant fight?
Oh yeah, that's
November 5th.
November 5th. Okay. I was about to say because that's the day before my birthday.
Gotcha. It's going down.
He fuck at dude. Yeah, but that's a little face off.
Ooh, cut
He
all
cut
that
his
up.
shit though. He cut his shit. I'm like, oh yeah, this fight is already over. I see.
He gonna, yeah, he
You
gonna-
can't even win the face off.
That was so clean.
That was clean though.
You would have thought he had like little knife.
Right,
You know the
that's
cartoon
it.
look like he
He was
having
in like fast forward, like
that's
the way.
that's the stuff you see in the movies, like the little karate movies.
Yeah,
It's like this. What would be like?
be the win.
Throw that shit on your Facebook Live.
Yeah, shit.
Hit him every once in a while.
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. We on. I ain't worried about that.
I know how you all let the chicks relax. I don't want
You
you.
know,
You all don't want you style.
they can get clean. Okay. Yo, we in the building. Episode 200. Hey, what's up, baby? 200. Hey, yo, we got multiple guests that's celebrating the
Hey,
200.
pull up in the building.
Pull up in here. Yeah. Man, so we got Marcus in the building. Marcus was our first guest on the show. We appreciate you. I mean, he won the March Madness, so we got pretty lucky. We had to bring him back. He is a North Carolina fan. You know, but he's here. I guess we had to bring him back. And we got inside the locker room in the building that we've been trying to get them on the studio for a while. They finally popped up.
Y'all know behind the scenes, man.
Man. So we got Wes over here, and we got my boy Steven in here, and we appreciate y'all coming on. It's about to go down 200 episodes. I gotta say, I appreciate you brothers for sticking with it. We have grown tremendously over the what has it been 4 years? 4 years. We drank. Man, you got a big cup over there. Big cup, big show. Huh? Man, what you got in there? Is it pop? That look like a lot of pop. You look like a lot of pop. That's in your cuz.
Let him celebrate.
Not y'all. Oh man, that's what we saying. Gone today. What did Lil Wayne say in his cup? Don't worry about what's in
What's in my cup? It's my cup.
All I know is it better be something in there. You know how we get down to it. So man, getting into it, the week 2 of the NFL, man. So I start down the line. Steven, talk to me, brother. What was your biggest, what was your takeaway from week 2? What was your biggest takeaways?
I say the biggest takeaways right now is that the teams that you thought are elite are still elite.
You use that.
No, this one, my bad. The teams that you thought are elite are still elite. I don't care if it's week 2. Kansas City is still up there, regardless if they lost. They lost by a point to the Ravens. The Ravens are still up there, regardless of that. Regardless of their injuries. You still got Tampa Bay that looks elite. So all the teams that you thought were elite are still elite.
What about the Seahawks?
The Seahawks, I got questions about them defensively, but their offense is still elite.
Derrick Henry, Jesus
Boy,
Christ, my fault. I ain't mean to interrupt.
You're right though. You're right. So I mean, I guess my other big takeaway is that, unfortunately, I have to say this, and I know it's probably gonna bite me in the later, but I think the Raiders have finally figured it out, and I will
figure what out.
Figured out.
You hear me? Figure what out?
I'm gonna tell you the one thing that you always like to see about a team is that when they have a pass rush and they have a team that can cover on the back end with their safeties, that is a good sign because they were not able to do that last year or years prior to that. And Max Crosby is probably going to be in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. I'm telling you right now, he is going to be in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. So that is my takeaway. I don't think they're going to win the division or anything, but I do think they're for real.
Okay. Wes, talk to me. What's your
biggest take? Biggest take right now, man. I would probably say the NFC West is nothing to play with. I'm about to say from the Seahawks to the Rams to 49ers. Even though the 49ers is banged up, I mean, the whole thing ain't nothing to play with. Like that division is they gonna beat themselves up, and when it comes, I can see three teams come out of that whole conference straight to the playoffs. Straight to the playoffs. Yeah. And I mean, the Rams is what it is. Like, I mean, you try to see all the hype and stuff. People talking up Matt Stafford. You know, people didn't think Matt Stafford was gonna be what he is because he was in D-Town and everything like that. They thought he was gonna come in and be washed up. Even I had my little doubts, but I knew Matt Stafford could throw the ball. But now to see him in the true offense, I know people might be a little hesitant, but I think he could win MVP if he start getting rolling. I really,
talk that hot take.
Hot take right here.
I'll
throw him out there. I never
like to hear it.
Have a great record.
Yeah.
He's gonna have great numbers. So you're right.
So I mean, you got the perfect coach, the defense now. You got a run game with it. Why couldn't he? Why couldn't he do it?
Yeah. Marcus, what's up?
My take is pretty much similar to both Steve and Wes. It's just I'm gonna definitely go with the Rams though. Just seeing them play the way they play. I think Matthew Stafford's one of the most underrated quarterbacks for years.
Yeah.
Our offense for real hasn't had a lot of direction, but you can never discredit this man. This man has one of the best arms we've seen in the last 10 years.
True.
And they have good offensive direction. The Seahawks, I do have questions a little bit defensively, but it was good to see the Titans actually get back. You know, I think they got hit in the mouth a little bit real early. They just kind of panicked a little bit because they kind of forced Tannehill to try to be something he's not. So, and I think Denver's another team I need to quit sleeping on a little bit all around. Teddy Bridgewater is a game manager. Melvin Gordon's continuously getting better and better. That's another team y'all need to watch out for. So I would say, like I said, NFC West is climbing. I'll say the AFC West is another place y'all need to go ahead and watch out for. You got the 49, you got the Raiders doing their thing. You got Kansas City's there. The Raiders are showing good because, I mean, I had questions about Derek Carr at first, but John Gruden, good confidence in him. They got good receivers. You know, Jacobs is a good running back. So yeah, it is.
That's all it takes.
And the Chargers ain't nothing to play with.
The offensive direction with them right now, they're trying to figure out, do they want to continue to play the two running backs, or you want to let the quarterback actually be a quarterback? And I think they need to go ahead and let the quarterback be a quarterback. And make the plays.
Man. Brother. T, what's up, baby? It's the 200th episode. You know, normally I go first. You end up going, it's 200th episode. You got to go first today, baby. Talk to me.
Biggest takeaway is Lamar Jackson and the Raiders are still going to be legit, even without it. They're still a force in the AFC this year, despite all the injuries. I'm not saying they're going to get Super Bowl, but they can contend at least for the AFC title at least.
I don't know. That's tough.
That's very tough.
Yeah, that's tough. They did beat the Chiefs.
They got to make sure that running back. They got to make sure that running game is consistent.
Yeah, they're
gonna be consistent. It's just I will say this. I know this is not gonna go over well.
We go again.
I'm very serious. I know this is not gonna go over well.
Hot take.
It's not a hot take. Everybody knows that Lamar Jackson is going to be a playmaker. But unfortunately, I think that's going to come to his detriment because that's all they rely on when it comes to big games. And that is what I think is going to keep them from being able to
only because they injured this year, though. Only because
so you said he can't pass that ball.
But what I'm saying is that right now he is one of the top 5 rushers. Okay, that is wear and tear. And so if they can't find a way to pass, I mean, granted, Rashad Bateman is coming back.
He's coming back in 3 weeks.
And Marquise Brown is starting to look like the draft pick that he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But if he can't throw the ball and they're going to keep having him run, it might come back to bite him. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
And they're not playing the Chiefs every week. Like
Correct.
You're
right.
It's like whatever it takes to win.
Talk to me. I wanted to bring this up. I mean, I was talking about the NFC West. I mentioned Arizona.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up. I'm a big Tyler Murray fan. My dog, man. Boy. I don't think they're serious this year.
Is that a Russell Wilson 2.0?
I think he is. Yeah. They got some great pieces around him. I think the Cardinals did a good job of building around him. They paid him, they're gonna have to break the bank contract.
No, they ain't got no choice.
Boy.
They got
So
no
right now they you know, now got the new Watt. When I got Watt, we got receiving core, very solid. You know, weapons around them. So this year, I think the series behind it.
Only thing with that, Kyler is going to be like he's going to have to not kill himself basically because this past week he made a few ill-advised throws that turned into turnovers. Yeah, that could have cost him the game, but right now he's easily top 3 favorite MVP.
That might become one experience too. I think he'll learn the game, man. He learned when to throw that certain ball, certain way.
That gunslinger mentality. Come on, where he think he can fit it into whatever he can fit it into. He definitely got that mentality. I mean, I think that, like you said, the offense too, his coach and stuff like that, the weapons he got a lot of trust.
I think y'all can give a guy a chance.
Yeah, he really trusts him like that.
Now DeAndre out there though. DeAndre's my safety net.
Yeah,
true.
Very nice safety net. Great safety
I
net.
gotta trust, right?
Matt Ryan had one. A few guys have had one. Plenty of.
Rondell Moore is still the draft. Still the draft.
My takeaway.
Really? You ready for my takeaway?
Yeah, I think that's a great job.
My takeaway is the Dallas Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, that's my takeaway. No. But seriously,
No more time for that.
shout out to Cowboys. But seriously, what the takeaway is, the only thing that's stopping Tampa Bay from winning the Super Bowl this year is Tampa Bay, meaning injuries and COVID. Yeah, well, that's considered an injury. Essentially, there's nothing that's gonna. If Tom is, did he get younger? No, I mean as long as the season goes on.
Leading the league of touchdowns right now.
I mean, like he threw 5 touchdowns on Sunday.
Rod's leading the league of touchdowns.
It's the
And if Gronk,
You're right. It's the Falcons.
I don't mean to interrupt, but shout out to the cornerback from Wicked Woods.
Mike Edwards.
Mike Edwards.
Two touchdowns, right?
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 big sixes. What's going on? Shouts out to the man.
Hey,
That's how you do it.
There you
That's
go.
how you do it.
Yeah, and so I that's my biggest takeaway is only them going. I mean, it was the Falcons. Falcons were terrible, but
Still, look out.
Antonio Brown's looking like Antonio Brown. And when he's your 3rd best receiver, when he was the best, people forget he was the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
I still think he's the most important receiver for the team.
But I mean, like, you can't. You got your best corner, maybe on Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. Okay, and then if you put him on your 3rd best corner, can't guard neither of those 3 guys. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, or Antonio Brown. Your 3rd best corner, somebody's gonna eat.
Somebody's getting burned.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna
gonna
eat.
get out.
You know what I'm saying? Like your 3rd best corner can't guard.
Somebody's getting burned.
And then who's guarding Gronk? And after that, and sometimes you'll put a corner on that tight end, and it's they got 2. As long as they stay healthy,
right there,
they shouldn't lose. The running game is it's okay. Leonard Fournette, he looked like he just lost. He lost something.
he's had a lot of
He's had a
lot of injuries.
What's going on with Leonard Fournette? Like he just lost something.
Be hold back.
No.
I don't know.
I think he's had a lot of injuries. He's had a lot of injuries.
He looked kind of bad last year too. Kind of at times he picked it on.
He's gonna have a good game here and there for sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a 1,000-yard season.
Oh no, but they don't need him to.
Yeah,
How
that's
about you?
true.
That's
That's
facts,
too.
Well, I just have a question though for you, since you are saying that they're probably going to win it. What would you say is their biggest weakness right now?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the defense, but the defense been looking cold.
I'll say the same.
I mean, the Cowboys did score.
I'll say the
The Cowboys
secondary.
did score 30. What was the score that
They
game?
was
But,
getting
like,
lit up.
yeah, they was going to work. Dak was doing his thing. Shout out to Zeke. Zeke looked a little better this week. I would like to see him get a little bit more touches other than Pollard Greens. But it's cool. I like Pollard Greens.
Slide that in, though.
Shout out to KT. If I KT to my boxer fights October 30. If I didn't give him his props, he would have been on. That's Pollard Greens.
I like that.
He been eating. He look good, man. I mean, I would like Zeke to get more touches because he's on my fantasy squad. It is what it is.
Oh, we are.
But I mean, yeah, Zeke had a decent. He had a decent day. He had something like 69 yards, 80 yards, touchdown. So nobody's really going too crazy on the ground besides Derrick Henry anyway. It's like people have nobody's really just eating on the ground. What, you don't think so? Or I mean, Lamar. Yeah, I mean,
Lamar.
but like no running backs, like you got Christian
I mean,
McCaffrey's got all those all-purpose
Right.
yards, but
Melvin
nobody's
Gordon
really
had a
like,
real good game
boy,
last
that
week.
boy is running right now.
And
But, I mean,
it just took Derrick Henry this week to get going.
Second half.
so we'll see what happens. I mean, nobody's really looking like,
I mean, I don't expect anybody to be lighting up on the ground right now while it's still nice outside. People are going to throw the ball, bro. Like, it's a passing league now. You might not see people like really running the ball to about week 6, week 7.
It's like the
People
NBA.
get
Everybody
banged
shoot
up,
threes
for
now.
real.
They don't
Honestly,
want to throw the
people get
ball.
banged up.
Look, Aaron Jones went off on Monday night.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Jones.
Okay,
He got
yeah.
4 of those. Aaron
Okay.
Jones went off. Aaron Jones went off.
He had 4 TDs. That's cool. Devontae Adams didn't get some points or something. I woke up that next day. I fell asleep on the game. A little old. I woke up. I'm like, damn, Devontae, what's up, man? I ain't even know what happened. I'm like, now I know.
I
Good.
got the I got the
I'm 0-2 in the league.
I'm 0-2 right now.
Yeah, Rodgers came up just a little short. 43 points,
Just a little,
points are
bro.
still a little short.
So what is going on with the Minnesota Vikings?
Bro, it's not a bro.
Wait, this is show team. We got it is a topic. It is a topic. It is a topic. It is. That's your team. You know we're gonna talk about it.
A fumble and a missed kick. That's what's going on.
Well, tell us. Tell the people need to
That's
know.
it.
That's it.
There's no.
And blowing leads.
Is that gonna happen? Is that gonna happen every single week?
What game we go lead?
The Bengals.
No, we came back with Bengals.
Y'all came back.
Yeah, they was up on us.
Were they? Okay.
But you still blew the game though. You got when y'all gonna finish?
A fumble and a missed kick. That's all you have to say.
Is that, I want to just ask you:
That's all it is.
Is this an every week occurrence?
I don't know. I can't see it in the future, but that's so
What
far.
is in the
From
future?
this week,
You could have
easy.
sworn he told me that they was going to the Super Bowl because he doesn't pick them to lose.
Huh?
Well, you don't ever pick them to lose, so they got to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Well, hold on, though. You the only one that made Super Bowl pick. Me and Rad didn't even make official Super Bowl pick.
Well,
Y'all know how Cowboys
Go on,
fans
8.
are, man.
I didn't even say that. This is the first year on the show that I ain't said the Cowboys was winning the Super Bowl.
They said it last week.
Yeah, they not. What? Tampa Bay winning the Super Bowl.
It sound about right.
I mean, but they mess around and lose because I picked them.
There's nothing else we can do. Kirk Cousins has led 2 game-winning drives. That was a fumble.
Yeah, so you okay? You okay with Kirk Cousins right now?
Yeah, right now.
Because you get real fiddle on him, don't you? Remember that one season? He like, that one season. I can't mess with him. I can't mess with him. That's my quarterback.
He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's the defense.
Yeah. The defense is supposed to be because what's the coach? He's
Mike
supposed to
Zimmer.
be a guru, right?
So
Right.
okay. Steven, talk to me about the Steelers, man. What's going on?
Boy.
Yeah, talk to me.
Big Ben.
Boom! He got hit like a Mack truck this
Hold
week.
on, I'm loving the
Y'all-
comment. His Cowboys got 1 win. Now he's poking his
Yeah,
chest.
no. I poked my chest out. We got a good loss on our record. We lost to the
A good
we lost
loss?
to
Moral
the-
victory.
There's
Right,
no. It ain't a
right.
moral victory. Nobody wants to lose,
Long
but there's good
victory.
losses and then there's
And
bad
they
losses.
really should have lost.
And as a
against the
sport,
Chargers.
hear me out. No, a loss is a loss. Nobody wants to lose,
They should have lost against the Chargers too.
but they didn't.
Left a lot of points off.
But you know what? To Dak's credit, but
Somebody asked me a question. Let me answer the question. A bad loss. You play sports. You know it's such thing as like, bro. You know, you played terrible. You shouldn't have. You played terrible. They didn't play bad against them, and with the division they in, I felt very good watching because they're not gonna be playing a team that good again. And I feel like we should have won the game. We left too much time on the field. So to your point, yes, I am taking my chest out because that's what game. I feel very confident in my team.
you should because
We'll talk about the Cowboys in a second. Let's talk about those black and gold guys or yellow.
Y'all do this every year, bruh. Y'all always try to make it seem like they're falling off.
I didn't say that.
The way you're
Did anybody say that?
The way
That's your boy. Did
what's
anybody say
going
that?
on with the
Did
Steelers?
anybody say that? Did I say that?
It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. The defense is still good. I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for the fact that Big Ben was getting old, we would have a top 5 receiving core. No joke about that. Deontay Johnson, I told you this before already. He is going to be a top 10 receiver when it all said and done.
A top 10
all
what?
time?
Not all time.
Okay, you gotta
in the
oh,
league. In the league.
No,
In the
he
league.
didn't
Hey,
say
I don't
that.
know.
He didn't say
No,
that.
I did.
No,
I was about to say.
Yeah, when you say all said and done, you gotta specify that.
He apologized.
Okay, in the league.
Okay.
Chase Claypool is going to be a dominant receiver going down the road. I know a lot of teams wish they had a Chase Claypool right now. He does remind me a little bit of Calvin Johnson, not in the way of like his talent. He's just a big body down the field. Juju is a possession receiver. He can break tackles.
Terrible.
He's doing the same. He's doing what he's doing what he's meant to do. And now we got Najee Harris. Listen, at the end of the day,
He's nothing without Antonio Brown.
I'm gonna still pick them to go to the playoffs. Are they gonna make a deep run? I don't think so. Unless it's an expanded playoff team this year, and I think the AFC North is the best division in the AFC, in my opinion. And I do think by the time it's all finished, the 3 teams will make it. It's the Ravens, Browns, and the Steelers. The Steelers will probably get a wild card.
Wow.
And then, last year people thought they wouldn't. Last year people thought they wouldn't make the playoffs. They ended up winning the division. Like that's what veteran play does. Like I trust them to make the playoffs. I just don't think they make unless Ben like finds a way to find the magic again. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But I'm not panicking. Like they played a terrible game and they still only lost by what? A few points. Like it's not.
So
it's
what
not
a bad
good.
loss.
It's not
That's
necessarily because they
good.
beat the Ravens though. Like the Raiders beat the Ravens, so it's like, was it the fact that they lost badly, or did they just go up against a better team right now? I told you, I think the Raiders are for
But I do
real.
have a question for you.
What's up?
Are you not worried about all the injuries the defense is suffering so far?
I am not worried about the injuries because they're ticky tack. A lot of them are groin injuries. What I am worried about. Hold up. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because I just saw the injury report. All the players are coming back. So that tells me there weren't severe injuries. I know. My only worry is the fact that the Steelers rely too much on their defense. So with those injuries, and most of them came on the defensive end, they're going to be on the field so much that it is likely that they'll suffer another injury to that same part. That is my only worry, but I'm not worried about the injuries right now.
I do have a question for you about Steelers. Do you feel that they have gotten complacent over the years with Ben being their quarterback? Because I have a theory about that situation. Complacent is a strong word, though. I mean, here's the thing. I just want to go ahead and throw some little facts. I'm gonna throw some facts at you. Carson, here's one. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck.
Okay.
You had Brett Favre, and you have Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
And you have
I'm ready to hear this back.
you have a couple others. You have a couple others. So it's tough when you have success with somebody for a number of years, especially with Ben, resume, Hall of Fame, two Super Bowls, everything. But even with Belichick telling Tom Brady, "Hey man, I got Garoppolo here."
Right.
So my thing, do you think they've been too complacent about not letting this man go when they could have built something younger, a little bit more, maybe more assertive over the
Well,
years?
I do want people to realize this is not like, atypical for the Steelers to do. Like whenever they find a franchise quarterback, they ride them to the wheels fall off. I do think that there may have been a sense where Ben had too much say in the organization, and that part worries me because he was even talking about in a press conference like, yeah, I took less money so that we could, be better. And I'm like, that's not a good sign. You took less money because you weren't playing good. Like, let's be real. Like, you were not playing good. I know he's not going to say that.
That's
but
not
I'm just saying.
necessarily true. Tom Brady is never took top dog.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because Ben was the only one left, I mean, it made sense for him to be the highest paid player on the team. But he's not the best player on the team anymore. So
let's be real. Tom could have demanded more money.
He really could have. He really could have.
He
really could have.
Nobody's gonna pay Ben more money.
So hold on. We got a call.
Let's get it. Who we got?
Let's get ready to talk to him, fellas. Yo, who we got on the line? Talk to us. Oh, what's
Hey,
up,
cuz?
cuz?
Good,
Hey, the
cuz?
Falcons garbage, man. Hot garbage. They look like trash. They look like hot garbage.
Hold on, let go ahead.
Yeah, Matty Ice looked like a trash can.
He looks like a Super Bowl quarterback in them trash every year.
Yeah,
I got a lot of problems.
yeah,
cuz.
everything's garbage.
I got a lot of problems.
Like everything's garbage.
I know who they got bad.
Yeah, you know it.
You know it.
You better know it.
You know it.
Don't worry, they're gonna blow it when it counts too. They always do. They some
That
dogs.
defense
But,
crazy.
it's crazy. It's always crazy. But guess what? When it's crunch time and it's time to make that play to make it to the next level, they going home. Oh yeah, they won to that game, but when it matter and it's time to win a game or go home, they going home. When y'all play them? Oh, never mind. Yeah, y'all beat them. That's not late enough in the season. On Halloween, oh yeah, y'all must run the blast. But late November, when it matters, hey, yeah, you gonna win. But when we talking about November and January,
January is when it really starts.
November, they'll lose that conference championship game in a heartbeat when it matters to get to them playoffs and they head to the cribs. Ooh, yeah, they will. Hopefully, they don't see Alabama. Yeah, I bet you do, but it's not gonna work. It don't matter if you got a hammer and you don't know how to use it. Y'all gonna be heading to the crib.
I'm curious, what tools do you think they have?
Yeah, what tools do they have, brother?
Go ahead, cuz. What tools y'all got to beat Alabama this year?
Defense always cold.
Every year.
Defense is cold until November. Team is pumping his head.
Yo, you was Kevin doing see some defense is a legit team?
Nah, it's Clemson. But I ain't know Clemson was gonna be that trash. Like they barely beat Georgia Tech. Clemson ain't what Clemson was.
So let's talk to the panel. Is Clemson we're gonna go down the line. Is Clemson beating not Clemson, but is Georgia beating Alabama this year in the playoffs that they play each other?
Oh no, not this year.
It's Georgia beating Alabama.
No.
Rand, is Georgia beating Alabama?
Hell no.
Josh, is Georgia beating Alabama? No, they're absolutely not beating Alabama. Yes, they have the tools and they're good every year, but can they win the big game? No, they cannot, because that's Atlanta sports.
Dang,
Is Georgia beating Alabama?
Wow.
Is Georgia beating Alabama?
No, sir.
Okay.
They'll beat them SEC championship, but not the playoffs.
Possibly there.
I come down though and kick it though. I mean, I know it's gonna be a good time. I mean, as long as y'all kick it out to the L, I'm down. It's gonna be warm too. I mean, I got a place to stay and everything. Let's do it. Because thank you for calling in, brother. We love you. You always been a fan of the show. It's the 200th episode. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Hey.
All right, peace, brother. Peace, brother. Peace, brother. Be safe.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So back to I want to touch on. We got to the Steelers. You said 3 teams. You kind of just counted the Bengals out. Now, that's fair. Just hear me out. Let me finish. You know I'm not. But the Bengals, they got the potential. Weapons they got on offense. Now let me phrase this right because I want to articulate
It's an
myself the
offensive
right
line.
way. The Bengals got the weapons to be a very, very dangerous football team. That I mean, they actually with the receivers they got, they could have the best receiving core in the NFL.
You know what they remind me of? Who remember when Carson Palmer and all them came, and Chad, TJ, Chris
Yeah.
Henry? This is exactly how they were when they first came. Young, fast. You have possession receivers with Tyler Boyd. Now you got a couple stretch.
T. Higgins,
T. Higgins and all that. Yeah.
Jamar Chase can catch.
Jamar Chase.
It turns out he can catch.
I just hope Jamar Chase is going to be a little bit more consistent than Peter Warrick was. Peter Warrick, when he was on point, oh my God, he was a dog.
But then he had just
all them
games
drop-
where
all them
nobody
drop balls.
know where he was. But
Yeah.
Jamar Chase hasn't been dropping balls.
Yeah, exactly.
So where I'm getting at is, I don't think. I think this week will be telltale against the Steelers if they come out and beat the Steelers. And we'll get into doing picks later
It's
on
in
who's going to
Pittsburgh,
win what. It's in Pittsburgh, so they got a chance to win. They don't beat them here for whatever reason.
They always get them in Pittsburgh for some reason.
When they do beat them, they beat them in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what that's about, but
That's crazy.
pressure at home.
No, less pressure.
But it's less pressure away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I
less
get what
pressure.
you're saying. But it's supposed to be less pressure at home because you with your fans.
But you got a lot of
Disappointment.
You got a lot of
But,
fans here too.
I mean, outside, I really believe. I don't want to count the Bengals out. I believe in Joe Burrow a lot. I mean, I don't know what's up with those 3 picks and 3 passes this week. That was very weird.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's
Hey,
Yeah.
last time throws, 3 picks, 2 touchdowns.
And then before that, it was like he had to do a pick in like 190 throws, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, bro, he threw 3 picks and 3 throws.
There
I
you
was
go.
sitting there like,
Pick, touchdown. Like, what? It was going on.
I was like, bro, what is happening right
It is
now,
odd.
Joe? I mean, I think
But you're saying you're confident because you're on record saying this. You don't mess Brock with Zach Taylor. That's gonna be the difference. His play calling. His play calling ability.
Now, and you talking about me? I'm on the record. Yes, I honestly think
You gotta go.
they have the weapons, but we're gonna come to you next. I want to hear what you got to say about this, Wes. I just don't think that Zach Taylor is the coaches can take them to the next level. So I see the Bengals going to probably about 7-10 this year. They'll have a chance to make, and then they'll have 2 bad losses where you're like, bro, y'all lost by 20.
Chicago.
No, I'm seriously where they'll be right in the mix, and you'd be like, y'all lost by 20 to them.
The Chicago loss might come back and
Oh, for sure. But what I'm telling you, I think they'll.
Yeah. But I get what you're
Even if they beat the Steelers, I think what will happen is they'll have a decent record and they'll get, because the coaching, they'll have some bad losses where you're like, how the hell? Where you know what they do is the typical to the Bengals fans where you're like, they believing in them. Yeah, we here.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yep.
Boom. Okay, next week we bound to.
But unfortunately, 7 wins, Zach Taylor keeps it done.
I know, bro. I know. Talk to me.
for that. They're good enough for that.
Yeah, I gotta win. They're good enough to win 7 games.
I say 6 and 11 or 7.
Talk to me, Wes. What's going on with the Bengals?
Zach Taylor, like you said, it's Zach Taylor. I ain't never been a fan since he got hired. Like, if he, I mean,
Eric, how did you not get a coach job to the Kansas City offensive coordinator? Eric,
Did they even interview him?
They did.
They did.
Bellamy.
they
Yeah,
did, but that's not
okay.
what
Bellamy.
Yeah.
I
Bieniemy?
know.
Bieniemy?
It's
Like
all
a race
Zach
thing. I
Taylor.
apologize.
And that tie all back into
Yeah.
like you said, what's wrong with Joe Burrow? I think that's the reason why Joe Burrow has had such a bad of a progression as he is. Like it's his offense. His offense forces him to stare down his receiver. That's why he was staring out every receiver that he was going to.
So
Yeah.
we're not the
It's
biggest
all
football
his
games.
offense.
Explain to us with you being a football guy.
I wouldn't say
Wait,
that.
you gonna give
No,
me.
we're not-
Well,
it's
that's
not-
what
I'm
it
not
is. No.
saying- I'm not
On
saying
two of
it's
them
all-
interceptions, they showed it.
I'm
He
not
stared.
saying-
He stared
Yeah.
them the heck down.
It's a mixture of
That third one got tipped. You know, that was some. So explain to us as much football guys. What are you saying? What the offense doing to make him stare
I'm
down?
not saying like it's definitely on Joe too. Like
For sure, but
when your offensive coordinator, so our offensive,
you get the question I'm asking. Like,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
when I was in college, my offensive coordinator would always tell our QB like, "This is some offense have a one read, like this is the read that you have to go for." So in Joe, so probably in Zach Taylor's mind, which he go empty all the time. He go empty. And that's the stupidest thing to do.
What's
he
empty?
probably-
What's empty
And
mean?
you don't have no running backs.
Okay,
You
okay,
got all
okay,
four,
go ahead.
all five wide
Okay.
receivers. So when you doing that, you're telling your quarterback, this is your one read. Like, this is going to be the read. This is the read that's going to be open. So Joe is still in his
Looking
second
for that
year.
read.
He only played 10 total games. He's still processing. His mind's thinking, my coach is telling me this is going to be my read, so I'm going here. I have to go there. Now, Joe still has to grow. He should be able to audible out of that. He didn't do that because he's still young. That's on Joe, and that's on his OC as well. That's on Zach Taylor. You shouldn't be telling him to say, oh, this is going to be open. I promise you. That causes Joe to stare him right down. That's what causes
It may be open if you don't look him down.
Well, I just
Do
learned
we-
something. I
do-
just
do
learned
we-
something.
do-
That's what's
But
up.
do we
Yeah,
know
too.
that was Zach Taylor's saying? Now, the reason I think Joe Burrow's probably doing that is because the offensive line is still not that
True,
good.
too.
Right?
No, yeah,
I don't want to hold the ball too long. And
My
Jamar
knee already fucked up.
Exactly. I don't want to get hurt again. Like it's kind of in the headlines this week. Jamar Chase said, they want to start pushing the ball down the field, but it's like.
Yeah,
That's been my main
because
thing.
you're like,
Like,
yeah, they like, yeah, throw that ball down the
Right.
field. They got fast receivers.
But you do that, Burrow holding the ball too
You gotta
long.
have
and
time.
he's
But I
gonna be
mean, when you got
Yeah.
first, second down, you running it every single time. It's like what are we doing?
Is
What are
Joe
we doing?
is Joe Mixon the top 5 running back in the league right now?
Not right now.
I don't. If you put the
Maybe
put
if you go off the last two games.
hear me out. No. I'm talking about
He
even over the
arguably-
last. Arguably, he is though. Check the yardage.
But not with that line.
Stop it.
Arguably, but not with that line.
Come on.
Not with that line.
Check the yardage. Arguably, I'm not telling
I
you
got a
it's
question for the
arguably.
panel. I got a
Go
question for the panel about the Bengals. Do you think
We come back to that though.
Do you think their offense under Zach Taylor is?
Yeah.
Very
That's
much.
all.
And he makes the most weirdest calls. You be like, bro, why did you run the ball? And I'm not the biggest football guy. You know what I'm saying? We got other football guys out here, but I know enough. Look, I done played enough Madden to know sometimes this just don't work right.
Like, when you got 9 football guys guessing the plays and getting it right.
Yeah, I'm like, boy, he about to run.
He can run more plays.
Said the math ain't
Right.
math
Come on, man.
And I'm like, bro, I know. Hey, listen, I know a good play and a bad play from time to time, and I'm like,
What are they doing?
even if it don't work, it's like, that was a good play. It just didn't
Yeah.
work, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, what the hell is he doing? And
Several
that
times
happens
a game.
to more
Several
often
times a
than
game.
not. With
Several times a game, you're
where
like,
you
what are
like,
they
what
doing?
the hell is he doing?
What are they running? Like, what are they doing?
And it'll cost him the game.
Several
Yeah.
times a game.
He's like lost in the sauce. I think he's trying to run something that was going on with the Rams, but he just ain't got the same magic my boy got out there with the Rams.
And same
boy.
person in.
What's his name? Sean
McVay.
McVay. Yeah, man, he got the. I don't know what he's doing out there, but he got the magic out there.
Some people are just meant to be coordinators. Like,
Thank
and I think
Hugh Jackson.
he's fine. Yeah, and I'm like, I think
Some
he's
people
just
say
finding
Mike
that out.
Zimmer. Some people say Mike Zimmer. What you
Well,
think,
he got
though?
one more
I
year.
know I
He
was
got
in
a couple more
I was
years
in a
to
little
prove that,
sports
though.
group and people
I'm
was
gonna throw a
telling me.
name. I'm
he
gonna
got
throw a
this
name
year.
out there.
I got a couple people that was in the sports
group.
group. They was talking about you. Like you said, Mike Zimmer might be his time as a head coach might be over, and it's time to go back to being a regular.
I say the same thing about North Turner. Even though he had a successful career with San Diego, he was a better. He did when he had Cam Newton that one year.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
bro.
I just
Hey.
think for Zimmer's situation, I just think it's the league passing the by. Like with the Bengals, Bengals game, you've seen it. Like you've seen the difference between a young guy, even though Zach Taylor is not the best play caller, but you see the difference between a young coach calling plays and an old guy.
And Mike Zimmer, he's a good coach. So I can't disagree with you at all. He's just the game. He's just not evolving with the game. It's quick, and it's
But
just
also-
He's trying
like
to keep it old school.
That would
He won't
kill
even catch up with the
I mean, look where he came from, Marvin Lewis. That's why Marvin Lewis had to get out there.
Minnesota front office has let some quality pieces go over a few years on defense and on offense. They have.
Diggs out there going crazy.
Josh Allen over
That
here
still hurt. He
just
looked like he had to take a
going
drink to that.
crazy.
Like you gonna let him rock?
Lighting
crazy.
up out there. Definitely a questionable decision. Several questionable decisions on personnel.
My thing for the Bengals is, like I said, hopefully they don't get 7 wins. Because I think the coach of the future is out there for them, and he's right down in Carolina. If they go get Joe Brady.
now you
If they go get the guy who was calling the plays for Joe
Okay.
Burrow and Jamar Chase at LSU,
Okay.
that could be.
Now, if we do that, now
What's
you
up?
have that's what
What's
I.
what's the name?
Yeah, we've been saying the same thing for years. I didn't like Zach Taylor hire from the beginning. I was a fan.
I like him to be the Bengals next quarter.
Who Marcus?
the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. And he's real innovative.
He's switched.
Is that,
He went to the Jets.
Went to the Jets.
You talking about defense coordinator? Robert Saleh?
Nah, the other guy. He's the LaFleur. He's the LaFleur.
Oh.
Mike, something
Mike
like that.
LaFleur for the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if he's gonna lead though. He said he worked with
yeah,
Jets.
I doubt. Yeah,
Exactly.
I doubt he'll leave there.
He
At least right now.
He gonna
He just
ride
got
with Zach
He,
Wilson
he,
for a little
he
while.
probably should though. Because
Yeah.
that organization, I would leave.
that.
I would get out of there.
Joe Brady a good one though.
Yeah, Joe Brady
Joe
is a
Brady
good
is
one.
a good. That is a good, candidate to look out for sure.
Yeah, so
There we
it's
go.
time to talk about the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this commercial.
Yeah, so man, Cowboys. Y'all want it realistic or y'all want what I want?
I want you to say. I want you to speak your mind first. We'll all get to the realistic.
We'll get to
Oh,
the
you said we're gonna get to
We gonna get to the real. I want to hear your.
You know what though? I'm not as good. I'm very hard on Dak. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very hard on Dak, but he's played some good football. I don't like Mike McCarthy. I think he's gonna be our downfall. I don't think he's a good coach. I hate the play calls. I don't like the way he's playing Zeke, and I think it's hurting his career. Zeke looks like he's in good shape. I don't, but he looks like a blocker right now. I don't really know what the hell's going on, but
Look like they just paid back. They're trying to use their money.
I normally would agree with you, but I just don't think he's a good coach. I think he's terrible actually.
I think he's benefited
like
from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, like I mean, he looked a lot better because Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback.
That's not.
I do think the Cowboys, their biggest opposition is the Eagles, but I do think they will win the division. Yeah, they'll make the playoffs, so probably with like a 9-7 record.
It's their division to lose. They'll be 10-7.
Well, no, 9.
I'll say 10-7.
9-8, 10-7. Something I gotta get in the right. I'm still in that 6. I'm still in the 16 game mindset.
all over the place.
It's hard to change to that. So okay, so 10-7, I guess. I see them around that. But I also wouldn't want to play them in the first round either, though. I ain't saying that we're gonna beat Tampa Bay or anybody like that. But I wouldn't. That's one team where you think about when you looking at the Warriors play. That's like, hey, they ain't hurting, but I don't want to play them in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta. No, they're not in the Super Bowl this year, but they.
Thank you.
I thought that's where he was
going. But just give it 2 weeks. They win 2 games in a row and 3 games in a row. I could be saying something totally different with the show.
I'll say this about them though: the biggest difference with them I've seen in the past years is their offense. They're very, very disciplined now.
Hey, we got a receiving core that is.
Receiving core has never been a problem.
I mean, it hurt.
And also, what I will say about their defense this year, they are actually trying to make some type of plays on defense because their defense wasn't a problem. They are because the defense in the last few years has been stagnant. The defense has been stagnant. No plays, no nothing, just stops. But now, this year, they're trying to get turnovers. They're trying to get some more energy. So yeah, you never know, man. They might sneak up and do something, but it's their division, definitely.
Yeah, it is their division.
So
because the division is god awful.
I would say this: they can be a sleeper team in the NFC, even though the NFC Championship game, in my opinion, is Tampa Bay and LA this week.
It is?
Yes, in LA. I think this is the one. But
I feel like you want to say something about my boys.
No, I really have a question. I really do have a question.
No, and I got answers.
Because in all honesty, we do this every year when it comes to the Cowboys because the NFC East sucks. Like, let's be real. It's like one of the worst divisions in all of football. Let's be honest.
It didn't always used to be like that.
It hasn't. And you said that the Eagles are probably your biggest competition as it stands today. Correct. My question is, and we always do this with the Cowboys, when it comes to expectations, that is when they play their worst. Literally, when they have all the expectations, that's when. Right now, like when it came to the Tampa Bay game. They were throwing the lights out of that ball, and they almost won that game. Nobody expecting them to win.
Nobody probably actually
exactly.
Nobody actually expected them to be close.
So my thing is, if they do happen to win the division, which as it stands today, they most likely would, do you give them a real shot to compete in the playoffs? Because at that point,
in the wild card game.
Yeah. Well, I don't think would they get a well. I guess it depends on where the seed is.
Only one team gets a bye.
Okay,
it depends on.
It depends on their matchup. But do you really believe when the lights are fully on them? Do you think that they will officially produce this time? That's always my thing with the Cowboys.
Yes, I think I can't tell you that they're gonna necessarily being objective and speaking. It's only been 2 weeks.
Right.
I can't tell you they're gonna win, but I'm gonna also tell you that you're not gonna be like, if they make it yes, we're playing the Cowboys. You're not gonna be saying that either. Yeah, nobody's gonna go in and be like, bro, we're running over our team. Our offense is too good. We can score. You can score points. We can score points. Yeah. If we can't do nothing, we can score points. And sometimes, and when you go outshoot somebody, you can win the game.
You can win. Now I got a question that you could barely ask because this guy's performance is terrible. Is Zeke washed?
No, I answered that earlier. Week one was bad. He had 11 touches. He was blocking the whole game. Week 2, he had a touchdown. He had some yards.
I'm not just saying this year though, but
just hear me now. Last year Dak got hurt, and there was a lot of stuff going on. Mike McCarthy's not a good coach, man.
But he hasn't ran for over 1,000 yards.
He playing for 1,000. Not the year before last year. He's never not ran for 1,000 yards before last year. He had 800 something last year.
So
Mike McCarthy is not a good coach.
So I'm just say this: I just hope he doesn't do Aaron Jones. He doesn't do Zeke like Aaron Jones he did 2 years ago. Last year he turned him loose. Mm-hmm. This year, Mike McCarthy has a thing in his pattern. He has a thing about letting running backs go loose a little too late in the season, and it kind of dampers the offense. That's the problem. In the Super Bowl run, he had no choice because the running back, I forget who it was at that time. So who was that running back? Who was it?
We'll look it up. A while ago.
But yeah, he had no choice because he was going crazy. So my thing about it is this: Zeke is a rhythm running back. He needs his touches. You got to feed him. You know what I'm saying? So my thing about it is this: so I hope as a coach, since the offensive discipline was flowing, you got a good receiving core, you got a running back too that should be utilized. I just hope he doesn't just wait to let Zeke catch fire, because I feel like if he lets it go, he doesn't let Zeke go early enough, it's going to dampen the offense like it normally does. And now you have a pattern of a problem that's been happening for a number of years.
Definitely put that way.
Years.
He has always been that way. There ain't no working around that. Mike will, if he has the option to throw the football, the way he usually does, he will throw the football. Especially if he trusts his quarterback.
To answer your question though, Zeke didn't have a bad game against the Chargers. So yeah, I'm looking at 16 attempts, which isn't enough for him. 71 yards. He averaged 4.4 yards a carry. That's not bad.
Yeah,
but he need more touches.
But it's got to be higher. That's got to be higher. Man. That's the problem with Mike McCarthy and his offense. What I've noticed for a number of years looking at the stats, it's you just rely too much on Aaron Rodgers.
And the first game he had 11 touches for 33 yards with 3. You got 3 yards per run, but it's not enough touches.
How many have last week?
11.
I'm talking about last week.
Oh, 16. That's not enough. But when my boy up at Jason Garrett was the coach, he was getting 25, 30 touches. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not the biggest Jason Garrett advocate, but he understood where to put his team to win.
Yeah,
he did. He did, man. Jason
Garrett made heartbreak feel good.
I have a question. I have a question. That sounds like some toxic issue right there, guys.
He made heartbreak feel good. He gonna get me right to the promised land, and yeah, boy, you can't get in.
Sound like him and Tony Romo.
I have a question. I have one last question.
Never mind. Go ahead.
I have one last question, and this is in all honesty though. Because I do agree that you should feed Zeke on a regular basis. But does it not make it hard to feed Zeke when Tony Pollard is out there looking like he could take the RB1 role. Like he's taking a role now where it's
Pollard
like he
agrees,
might have
but my thought is this, man, honestly,
to put him in the game plan.
honestly, yeah, you definitely have to put kind of like with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Right.
But Nick Chubb still eats because they still feed the beast. And the thing about it is, some of those plays Green's getting, I mean Pollard. Some of them plays, some of them plays that Pollard's getting, Zeke can get because Zeke can line up as a wide receiver, and he always has been able to.
He always has.
So, like y'all said, Zeke is a rhythm. Give him some of them passes that Pollard's getting, and give him a chance to get the field. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what you mean when you say he's a rhythm runner because I'm a rhythm shooter. I can shoot, but when I'm in a rhythm, it just always feels good, and I can shoot. It can be a bad. We shooters. We all three shooters.
It's all about touch.
You know what I'm saying? And once you get that rhythm, you can shoot some bad shots, and you like, boy, I'm just feeling it. Yeah, like it's going in or it's getting close. You know what I'm saying? But like 16 attempts. That's just that's not enough. And he got two receptions. For 26 yards. That's not bad. Some of them plays Pollard's getting can go to Zeke because he can do it. That's how he did it at Ohio State.
Yeah,
He did it with Dallas.
My only counter to that is why isn't Todd Gurley in the league right now? He's 26.
Hurt.
Yeah. Why? Because what did the Rams? What did the Rams do?
To the ground.
I'm saying the Cowboys are seeing.
That's true too.
Yeah, okay.
That's
very
true.
true.
Le'Veon Bell not in the league no more. Well, right now.
Le'Veon Bell. Wait. We're gonna touch Le'Veon Bell because I got to touch that because Steve's here. I love to touch Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, so
But that was patient.
He fucked up.
That running back lifespan short.
But he fucked up too, though. He fucked up too. You know your life is short. You can't be fucking up.
And the Cowboys off the line ain't what it used to be.
It is getting older. That is true. It's true.
yeah. Oh, Zeke, and sorry, I said 800 yards. Zeke had 979.
That was 1,000 yards.
In all fairness to say,
down here.
if Mike McCarthy plays it right, this could be a dangerous team you can play in the wild card.
I think they showed you already just with the amount of points they can score.
Yeah.
That they're gonna compete now. Whether defense can stop you because you need a defense to actually push you, to actually win the games. But with a team that can score 35 points, that's dangerous in football regardless.
You just need a couple. You just need a couple of stops. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe I got the ball last and I can just score.
There you go.
But Le'Veon Bell, we're not gonna stay him long because we on a time frame. But is he done?
No,
I don't think so either.
No.
Steven.
Yes.
He's 29 years old.
I'm telling you guys right now. even if he can, Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell look better than Gurley though. Like just athletic. You're right though.
No, I'm just saying.
Come on. I got a question.
I don't know about that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you listen. People are going to find this out. He has a very uncanny running style that does not fit with every team. I'm serious. Like, he's a patient runner that likes to improvise on all his runs. That does not work for most teams, and that's why you see like people like Zeke and Derrick Henry that go off as the game gets longer because they got linemen love when they get into a rhythm and they're able to like push. You can't push people off the ball with a person like Le'Veon Bell because he won't find the original hole. He'll find some different hole. And he'll reverse it. That doesn't work. That wouldn't play.
Okay.
Boom! I found it.
I got a question for Wes and Steve. I got a question for
He was.
I think.
But that's why he.
Like you see, like if you patient, you see that guy. You got to hit.
No, I get that, but that's why he was great in his prime.
I think he still got it.
No,
I
got it.
Even Harbaugh said he wasn't in game shape, bro.
I got a question for Wes and Steve. So, do y'all think that he can come back to a playoff team and play the Ray Williams type of role? Y'all think he can?
I'll let you take that, Wes.
I think he could. Like I said, he's still when he can fit to this day and age is he still play that receiver slot back role.
Right.
Which I mean, that's what everybody looking for.
Right.
So I think he could. Is he gonna be the same old Le'Veon that he used to be? No, that's never coming back. Sadly, that's what it is. Yeah, he never. That's all.
I think he could fit really good if he gets in game shape. I think that could be a good weapon for the
Yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah,
That'd be a good weapon for the
He
Ravens.
better than
Like that.
Devontae Freeman.
That's what the injury they had.
Yeah, for sure.
Better than Devontae Freeman.
Devontae you just never know because Devontae can get hot for 4 or
That's
5
the
days
thing.
and then he
You
can
forget
get hurt.
Devontae is just as much of a power back as anything.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
He
you.
better than- he
Thank
better-
you. That's why he made the squad.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
exact reason why he made the squad.
Yeah, same thing. He a rhythm running back.
He better than Devontae
The,
Freeman.
the only team I can see Le'Veon Bell being
I say the
successful in.
Ravens.
No, it's not the Ravens because they run too much of a power scheme. It would be the 49ers. That's the only team I could imagine that he would be successful in, unless he goes back to the Steelers, who understand his skill set.
Because Mike Tomlin knows how to play.
Right, that's the only team. If it's not the 49ers or the
Another
Steelers,
team.
I don't think Chiefs though. That would be
Another-
good. It would be amazing.
They
story.
thought-
Another team.
Yeah.
I think because of the way they improvise, on another offense. I'm gonna give y'all a super team for him to actually another super team that actually y'all can think about the way they can improvise and the way their offense with Jalen Hurts. He could be if he got in the game shape. The Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles would be a good one if they actually did that. That'd be a good fit for him. Yeah, that's a good point too.
It's Saquon done.
he will go off.
Stop.
on
He ain't
this
done.
weekend.
Stop. I'm
He's
just saying,
going off this weekend.
I'm not
off
waiting.
this weekend.
Don't put that stop on me though. No, don't put that stop on me. But hey, y'all all watch sports. That's been in the sports world.
I know.
That has been in the sports world.
That O-line is
The
terrible.
O-line is terrible.
O-line is terrible.
That's worse than the league.
Worse than the league.
Boy got moved.
Worse
So I
than the
see
league. Worse than the league. But we ain't had no holes to run through.
I know, but I was just saying, yeah, he got moved. So
You can't come off ACL unless you're a free like Peterson. But expect the
Or Steven
He's
Jackson.
not gonna bounce back like that.
Or Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson, only running back I know who had a terrible line for 3 years for the St. Louis Rams and
Damn.
just got
God,
1,000 yards.
damn.
But then again, you had a dude at that point was like Earl Campbell, 6'2", 240 pounds, running a 4.5.
So-
I know he's always
so-
very
so
you ain't seen
the
that
sports
either.
world,
No,
hey, be
bro.
patient.
Yeah,
Saquon will be a 1,000-yard rusher this year.
I think he will.
But hey, a lot of the
I
sports
think
world,
it's
you don't think so?
It's gonna take.
No, it's the line. The line is
terrible.
horrible. That
But how
line
good
is,
are you, don't you? But if you a beast, Joe
True.
Mixon get 1,000 and the line was
Well, I'm talking
hot
about this
garbage.
line is disgusting.
But it
This
wasn't worse than the Bengals. Joe, the
disgusting.
Bengals
Brother, it's
line,
close.
the Bengals lines was
It's
ass,
close,
bro.
It's close, bro.
This line
It's
is terrible.
close, bro.
This line is bad.
Man, this line bad.
Hey, that's the difference.
This is a bad offensive line.
I just-
I can see him getting close to 850 to 9.
He gonna be like
He might-
I give
he-
9,
He
6,
might
9,
do it.
7.
He
I'll
might
give
do it.
him-
If he does it,
I say
he
I
gonna
say
be a little bit
850
better than the
to 9.
season.
I give him 1,000 all-purpose yards for sure.
Okay.
I think they'll use him more.
That's
I
what
said,
he-
I
But you
know
know that
they'll
ain't what
use him
I'm
in the
talking
pass game.
about.
I know.
We talking about on the ground, baby.
There we go.
I just said that I feel like they'll use him in the pass game because one, they're going to find themselves in a lot of passing situations. And
They're
two,
gonna be down by
right,
like-
and two, it just I think they're going to take it not easy on him, but they're not going to force him to run like
They
30
shouldn't.
times a
With
game.
that line,
with
they
it.
should.
And
Right.
Daniel Jones look better anyways running that ball.
I mean, that's why I said
Sadly,
that
he
you have
do.
to
That
like
boy
you
stay
have to play
upright.
Daniel.
Yeah.
You literally have to play Daniel Jones on the option.
Yeah, as long as he'll trip on his feet.
You got to play Daniel Jones on the option. Like nowadays, you have to play him on the option. So it's like I think he'll get all-purpose yards, over 1,000 yards, but I don't think they'll
It'll be
do
tough
that.
for him to get received.
Because they got Galladay, right?
Yeah, they got Galladay now.
It's gonna be tough on the
Yeah,
ground.
Galladay got Sterling
They,
Shepard.
Like,
they,
they got
Galladay gonna come
pieces.
back.
that
they
can
got
keep 'em on the
pieces,
field.
but the problem is with them, they have too many possession receivers and not enough game breakers on the receiving game to give him
That is
space.
TBD. I love
But they
Galladay.
don't have
I-
time.
That is
that's the
TBD.
only- that's the
That is
one.
TBD.
That's the
Because
one.
it's Sterling
That's
I
the
think
one
that's
person.
Sterling Shepard. I think Sterling
Yeah.
Shepard is the
Thank
real
you,
game
thank
breaker.
you.
Yes,
But
But
they
they
ain't got time
never,
to get
they
deep
never,
anyway,
use,
so it
they
don't
never
matter.
use him correctly.
they
They ain't
don't.
got time.
But
They
now,
ain't
I
got
mean,
time.
as you can see
Yeah.
right now, you can see through these first 2 weeks, he is getting the main target share.
Yeah.
He's eating from the
He's
slot.
eating.
Like I said,
Yeah.
it's gonna be up to Jason Garrett to use him right. But,
He
you know,
in a spot. He in a spot. So like we were saying, they don't have time to really get deep threats. They don't have time.
Yeah, no.
He got like that. He got to throw like that, or he's gonna get sacked.
Well, that's why if they can get that connection with Galladay, that would be
that would be great for them.
You just gotta keep that man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, correct. But
That
if they
man-
can, because Galladay, he's too good of a receiver. Like
That man is a
Yeah,
top 5.
he's way
talent
too good.
in the NFL.
He's
That's a
way
top
too
5
good.
talent in the NFL as a receiver.
Yeah,
they
I'm
can
not
just
saying
connect
top
on
5
some
receiver,
of
but
on
top
some of
five.
the
Screens, give him a
posts.
screen or something. Get him
Something.
the
Give him
ball.
something.
Give him
Like,
the ball. Give him the ball.
but he would be their game breaker though, if they can get that connection.
Another big thing this weekend too was the Saints. It looks like a totally different football team. Talk to me, T.
I blame that COVID situation. That threw them all off. Now,
What situation?
COVID. They had COVID on the team.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
All
hear
the
about
coaches
that.
was out essentially.
Defensive players. Now, that's no excuse for Jameis struggling. Like, Jameis just
But that is
James
still
did
off
like-
your-
Yeah.
reverted back to the old James, but they defense
Divine.
was
So are they getting a mulligan? Is that a mulligan that I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not buying like against Carolina. That's not the real thing, especially that defense. Once they like I said, COVID's going to affect a lot of teams this year.
True.
Yes. Sure. And I think that it's just one of many start. They the first one that got affected. But
I got a feeling they're gonna be a team that's up and down. They're gonna be a team like everybody. They'll run and they get like 3 in a row, then lose like 2. Like, how did this happen? They'll beat the
Saints
team.
making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think defensively they got a chance. I hope Jameis for real gets. I think he's got a good chance because he actually has a situation where it's stable.
against Mike Evans, Mike Thomas
Yeah.
back.
That's what I was about
Oh,
to say.
man.
That is the only
That's
way.
another-
That's the
that's
only
brutal.
reason.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
right.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
Because I'm like, I mean, please, anybody answer this question if you have the answer. But like, who was their game, like their playmaker?
Saints?
No,
Yeah.
at wide receiver.
At wide
Who is their
receiver.
playmaker at wide
Right,
receiver?
right now.
Right now, as it's
I
constructed.
don't
without-
know anybody.
Exactly.
I don't know anybody on the team.
So I can't blame Jameis because it's like,
I was like Michael Thomas. You right? Wait,
but
right now.
all right, exactly. Right now, does he have
Yeah,
any playmakers?
Yeah, I don't know any. I actually don't know any.
It's a
of the
bunch of
receivers.
unproven guys,
Right.
and a bunch of possession receivers.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
People were so like high on this like Marquez Callaway guy. I'm like,
I told you what I tell you about that. They get excited.
that's what I'm saying.
They
The
got
only-
excited.
right, they got mad excited. The only
It was 1 week.
It's preseason. Let's keep it real.
facts. You tell me though, because I'm sure you know about this guy more than I do. Deontay Harris is the one guy that I'm like, all right, he a speedster. He's like a burner. Like he used to play punt returner. I know. He's the only guy that I could see making like some serious like plays for them.
It's too small.
Right, exactly,
It's
exactly,
You gotta get
exactly.
open. You gotta
But
get
that's
It's
the
also
only
route
guy I can
running.
see though, because he is
It's
a
also
speedster.
route
You
running
can't
for them.
cover him.
A lot of the Saints players, when I watched a couple of those games, it's route running. A lot of those guys, man, it's just like
They don't know how to get open.
they don't know how to get open at all. No
Yeah.
separation.
The leading receiver was Alvin Kamara.
Oh, God.
Overset.
That's
Four
not
receptions.
gonna cut it.
That's-
And he got me two. He got me. And he got me 2 points on He got me 2 points. You already know that. He got me 2 points, and he cost me the game in 2 money leagues. I just put out there. And you already knew I was going to go there. You got me 2 points
8
on.
carries, 5 yards. God damn.
Only 2 though.
That's
Only
tough.
2.
Tough scene.
A tough scene.
Tough
Tough
scene.
scene.
Tough
Tough
scene.
scene.
Tough
Tough
scene.
scene, bro.
Yeah, average.
Drew, can you come home? Can you come play for a second, man? Drew would never.
That was not supposed to happen,
Noodle
bro.
will make them cut.
That was not supposed to happen.
You know, Drew is called Noodle, whatever. It's the beginning of the season. Drew gonna get. Hey, it's the first. Drew got you to week 12, and he's gonna ball.
I'll say this. Drew, at that point of his career, was not going to give him the deep ball, but he would have managed the game to a point where everybody would have got him. He got you a dub.
would be back
He
too.
got you a dub. That's the reason why Michael Thomas came back.
would be back.
Michael Thomas was like, bro,
He ain't
Get
coming
like,
like
man,
I'm
that.
not crazy. You got it.
Get out of here.
Real quick. Justin Fields got named the starting quarterback. Is this the right move? Or no?
yes.
And it don't hurt.
Yes.
Don't hurt.
Yes.
No, don't hurt. Don't hurt. Don't
Right.
hurt.
It's only the right move because he got hurt.
Don't
But then
hurt.
he don't get hurt. And he don't
Cause-
healthy. I don't think.
Yeah, if it was healthy, because Justin Fields didn't play great.
He's-
Like
he's
he had
Let's just keep it
he had
real
some
with
no. Hear me out. He had some exciting plays though, where you're like, hey, This is why you play him, and then he goes.
He has some other ones. You like, why is he throwing that ball?
And then he got. I've never, and this is for real. This is the first time I ever seen a quarterback get delay a game. I'm like, bro, what the hell is going on, bro? Maybe my football guys can tell me what was happening.
I'll say something before y'all.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sorry for false starts, but maybe my football guys can explain. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
It was not.
You know how to command an
Go
offense.
ahead, but no, because you had something to say.
No, I was just talking about.
Yeah, before the astute gentleman of football understand it, say anything. It's just like when I saw that game, it was like, okay, well, Allen Robinson, I think is very underrated. Good. Oh man, good player. But like, it's my thing about it is this with that team. Like, when I look at the problem I have with the Chicago Bears the last few years, I feel like their defensive talent, which is Super Bowl talent, was wasted with Trubisky. It's been their play calling. Their play calling has been very, very, very just ridiculous.
That's because they ain't trusted the quarterback in years. They trust
But they play calling when they had a nice quarterback before.
Yeah.
Even with Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler. Yeah, man. My thing about it, it's been questionable for years, but like I get what y'all saying. I get what y'all saying though. It's been what. So my question to y'all two is, what do you think Justin Fields is going to bring to the table with some questionable receivers, except for Allen Robinson, and what can play calling do for Chicago in order for them to make them effective in the division that can be potentially a problem? Because even with Jared Goff, the Lions will still be somewhat competitive, especially offensively. So that's my question to y'all.
He don't look that bad.
Like you just said, they put out a play call. It's Matt Nagy. I used to think it was Mitch Trubisky, but after seeing this year, I'm like, it's Matt Nagy. Like it's the way he's calling the plays, the way he's doing things. Like, yeah, Justin Fields is a rookie and everything, but once again, you got to play to your limitations. You got to understand your QB. You got to understand what's going on. All right, this is what he can't do well at. I'm gonna make a quick read here, and I'm gonna get hurried and let him get the ball out. He was trying to almost force Justin to do multiple progressions and try to figure out where he need to throw the ball in. And I feel like that's what Justin threw a loop. That threw him off because he has pretty decent receivers. Allen Robinson is a dog. Darnell Mooney is a dog. He has Cole Kmet is an up and coming. I think gonna be a good tight end. They got David Montgomery, and yet they still can't get no flow.
Shout out to David Montgomery.
Shout out. So you got them, you got all that, and yet they still can't get no flow. You can't get no flow.
I like that. You still can't get no flow. Where the flow at, baby?
But I think if Matt Nagy just let Justin Fields really work outside the pocket, like do with bootlegs, work on the run, let him work on the run, quick short passes like that, and do the read options like that with David Montgomery. Or even I don't know when Tariq Cohen supposed to come back, but once he coming back, really work him in. They can do some noise, but Matt Nagy got to step his play calling.
Right.
He's stubborn. That's the one thing I can't stand about Matt Nagy. Like, he's a very stubborn coach. Like, when it comes to his quarterback, and like to your point, like when Mitch Trubisky got all that flack, like people forget. Like there was once upon a time where like Mitch Trubisky was on fire. Like he was absolutely on fire.
What was it like? Maybe like 4 or 5 weeks with this man was.
I mean, he was terrorizing the league. Like, but really, for real though. But I honestly, like, when it comes to what Justin Fields can offer, I say put him in now because of the fact that one, Andy Dalton is going to mess around and get hurt out there like he already did. He just doesn't fit that offensive scheme, in my opinion.
I saw him running.
I know. I'm just saying, but I just don't think he fits that scheme. Like, take off.
It was the big one. He got excited.
I get it.
His best fit, Andy Dalton's best fit, in my opinion, if he wanted to succeed, was either with the Cowboys or with the Patriots.
Somewhere the back.
As far as a backup, backup.
Yeah. So we talked about this kind of. Y'all, anybody else talk on the topic? Me and Steven talked about this. So I'm gonna let him hit it. Steven, where is the best destination for Deshaun Watson? Tell the people.
Oh, all right. So we did talk about this.
and I know it's not there anymore, but because of the fact that what happened to Tua. But I do think that his best destination would be the Washington football team.
For sure. 100%.
Easily. I mean, easily.
Because, like, bro, it's a huge market.
It's a huge market. It's a very winnable division. And they have a number one receiver out there that he can depend on.
Shout out to Ohio State.
They have they have a well, even though it doesn't look like it right now, they have a very, very good defense to where you don't
Chase Young, shout out to Ohio
right.
State.
And quite frankly, to your point, it's a market that has been looking for a quarterback for years.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Half my family is from the Washington, Maryland, the DMV.
Shout out to the DMV.
Shout out to the DMV. I love. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. They love the Redskins, and they gonna come out and it's good.
Sorry, guys.
He said every week.
Politically correct. It's okay.
I'm sorry. But we've been saying the Redskins for 28 years. I apologize.
Yeah.
The Washington football team, they love it, and they go to the game. Every game sells out.
Yeah.
Still.
Not to mention, I do believe that the Washington football team has the draft capital to actually acquire.
That is true.
That's the other thing. The Miami has as well, but I do believe I have right.
T loves the shot. T, I want to hear from you on this topic. Talk to me, bro.
What about
that, and if you don't, and no, wait, just hear me out. If you don't think it's a good idea, where should Deshaun Watson be going?
That's all. Miami already missed their chance to win. That was about number one. Football team was interesting. I didn't even hear that one.
Well, I don't think that was out there. We would just kind of like just putting it in the atmosphere.
But y'all definitely open my eyes.
It would be nice though.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, like it wasn't no rumor. It wasn't no rumor. Got a good coach. Got a good wide receiver. A decent running back in the backfield. It's not a bad, and then it just fits because he gets into a big market.
It's a market that is also with Dallas, and he's always going to have that prime time. He's always going to have that
the Giants.
And
the
Eagles.
That's I know. Hey, the NFC East is terrible right now, but all those games, when they play each other, all those games do numbers. And it's no matter if the record's terrible, it's always the game of the week for whatever reason.
You have two major. You have two major markets there, and it's the Dallas Cowboys.
You really have 4 major markets. All of those markets are huge in the NFC East.
I still feel like Carolina Panthers is not stepping out of that. I get they got Sam Darnold here with everything.
You gotta give that man a chance.
I get it. They're gonna get it, and that's the year to give him a chance. I don't think Deshaun Watson gonna play this year, but I think they're gonna keep their eyes on Deshaun Watson. I think that would be a good landing spot for him in Carolina. I mean, they got that young defense that I'm seeing this year. I know it's week 2 or whatever. They got the perfect young defense. The weapons that they all got.
Shout out to Robbie Anderson over there.
You got Robbie Anderson, Christian McCaffrey. You got DJ Moore.
DJ
We just throwing out scenario shit. Minnesota, hey, Kirk, I don't know.
Hey, y'all pay him too much money. It ain't happening.
That's an upgrade.
It ain't happening.
The money can match. Hey, the money can match.
Right. But come on, like.
No, seriously. Like that would be the. You know, Justin would thrive with Deshaun Watson. That would be good.
Of course.
Mike Zimmer would not know what to do with that.
Aaron Rodgers on the back end of his career, he's going to run a division.
That would be the only thing if he decides to leave.
Would not know what to do with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
he would not know.
Bring Deshaun Watson to the Cowboys. I was saying that all year. The money works out there too. Let's trade it. Let's run it. Let's run it.
I would say Miami, in my opinion. Got everything you need,
like
those weapons and everything else. But the thing about it is, it's going to be a quarterback situation. If you think about Tua, it's like gambling. If you go to the casino, Tua's the type of quarterback you put $10 a head, $20 a head. You'll win, but you don't win big. If you get what I'm saying. Now, if you put Deshaun Watson, that's how you win $100,000. That's how you win $200,000. That's how you win $300,000. You still got Devontae Parker, you got Kenny Stills, you got the running back, and you got a very good disciplined coach in Flores for the defense. So, but that's what I'm saying. But I think between them and the Washington football team. I didn't think about that. So that's what I think the two destinations.
I watched them. I think about that.
I didn't either.
Well, it's because they haven't gone out and got Cam. That was the only reason why I thought about that.
They ain't gonna get Cam unless he get back to me.
Right.
Cam ain't coming back unless he's back.
I do have this.
Probably.
I do have this question though. I would like for you guys to give your take on this because Miami has been connected with Deshaun Watson for quite some time. I think it was like a 3-person trade or 3-team trade. But now that Tua is hurt again, does that not hurt? Like what? Well, one, what does this mean for Tua, like in particular? But two, what does that do for his trade value?
Well, he was hurting a lot in college, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like Miami did make a lot of sense at first, but they were talking about giving
They already was kind of announced on Tua.
right. And
That
so
was-
now that he's hurt again, does that make that an equal trade, even if you are going to give up draft compensation?
It doesn't make sense for the Texans to do this.
Correct. And I want to know what y'all take is on like Tua in particular now that he's hurt again. Like, what does this mean for his career?
Yeah, but I mean, hurt all the time. Being fragile is definitely going to be it could be definitely weird. It could be like very detrimental to him.
Could be. It will be.
It will be.
I'm going with.
I know you trying to be nice.
I'm going with the
It will
unpopular
be.
opinion.
He might come back though.
I like Jalen
I'm not betting my
Hurts
last
more than
$2
him
on
in
it.
college. I like Jalen Hurts because
Tua was an more accurate thrower.
Tua was a more accurate thrower, but the thing about Tua, like I said, he'll get you there, but he didn't get you that big game.
You got him the
breaking
championship though. In
I think
college.
Tua-
Jalen Hurts
I
was
think
getting
Tua
it
was the
there
Chinese
too.
Tua. I think
Remember
Tua was
before
Chinese
then.
Tua at the time. He was a Chinese Tua at the time. They wanted the Chinese Tua.
Right.
But he would
Had the cool ass name.
That's what it was.
I just-
He was kind of like, you know,
Shout out to
serious
Tua.
pick, you know.
Shout out to Tua. I hope you get healthy and you do good though, bro. But I'm just saying, like, if they
He
had
just
a
falls
chance,
under- he just falls under the umbrella of Alabama quarterbacks.
I just want to give you
True.
some love real quick. You'll be happy to hear this. When you walked out the room, Steven gave a shout out to the Broncos and Teddy Bridgewater. Another shit boy.
It's Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy too good.
like I told y'all, watch out for Denver this year. Like I said, they're gonna be a tough team. A tough team.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't Steven. It was Marcus. I apologize. He's the one who showed the love to Denver.
Teddy too. I like that.
Vince Young had a winning record in the NFL.
T3.
Teddy Bridgewater's got a winning record as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Still got trouble to get started. Oh my God. Crazy. Man.
He got the bag.
We don't know why. We don't know why though. We don't know why.
You got that bag in Denver.
Oh,
Shout out to Teddy
Black
Bridgewater,
man,
man. Keep
we gotta
doing
watch.
what you
man,
doing.
I
bro.
feel like the black man is starting to take over this quarterback position. Though,
You
man.
did.
He is.
Yeah.
But the owners don't want to give him a chance. The owners still trying to get him out of here.
Mac, what y'all think about Mac Jones?
Look that way. Look that way.
Go ahead.
I've always been high on Mac Jones since I seen him in college. I get
Very
it.
smart quarterback.
He is
Very
smart.
smart
He is very smart. And I mean, just to show how he was able to catch on to this New England offense so fast at his young of an age, that should tell a lot. Because they do not. They
But don't
don't.
they run a pro? They ran the same pro offense that New England did pretty much
It's similar style. Yeah.
in Alabama, right?
Similar style, similar
Okay,
type of pro
yeah.
style, but even then, it's still that offense. I mean, you can
Still
go back to
different
listen to the
speed.
interview
You have
with
to
people.
get-
You have to get caught
Yeah,
up. That's
okay.
why Cam struggled
Okay.
when he came back last year.
All right. So, real quick, make it fast. So we're moving on. From not y'all. We already answered this question. Where is Cam Newton done? And this is to my people that my guess. Is Cam Newton done? If he's not done, where should he go?
If he doesn't get this COVID, he might as well retire.
If he doesn't get the
If he
vaccine,
doesn't get the vaccine, he might as well retire. Because here's the problem. And you have to understand, this is business at this point. My thing about it is this. Let's say the Washington football team.
Ron Rivera can't be around it. So
Exactly.
he's not gonna pick him up.
Right. I'm saying, or let's say another team decides to pick it up. You see Carson Wentz keep getting hurt. Let's say Indianapolis Colts picks him up. How can I depend on a guy who doesn't, if he can get COVID? Let's say we roll. Let's say we won 3, 4, 5. Next thing you know, we got big games. And let's say he does go to the Colts. A Super Bowl roster on paper, defense, offense,
Colts solid.
and solid, bro. And they have a good offensive line and good receivers, up and coming receivers. So it's like, how can I trust you if you get sick or you don't get sick? I have to sit you down for, let's say, 1, maybe even 2 games.
Yeah, 'cause he ain't
And
got
that's
this positive
detrimental,
you said down. He just got some contact.
Exactly.
If you're not vaccinated, he becomes
So-
contact with somebody.
If he doesn't get the vaccine,
He's done.
my brother, you done.
Most likely, yeah.
My brother, you done.
He done made enough money to be
He
done.
made
But
enough
go
money,
ahead.
but-
Yeah.
yeah.
But
He's
go
fine
ahead.
with it. He's obviously fine with it.
Steven, go ahead and talk to me.
Do I think he's done? Like his career is over with?
Well, it's the mixed bag question. He threw another
Right.
scenario in there, but answer all, give me a complete answer.
I think he will not be in the league for the remainder of this year. I do think he'll end up getting the vaccine. He's going to be required.
Right.
But I don't think his career is over. No, I just think he
I
won't
think-
be in the league
I think
this
it
year.
depends how much you love the game, though.
He loved it.
But
Cam-
if you love the game enough, you here for a good time. Not a long time. You got to get the vaccine.
I know, but it's just I'm still not a believer in the quarterback market. That's the only thing. Like Cam is still good enough to get a job in the NFL.
But no, I
That's
no.
facts.
So we talked about this. He is, but he is a roar. He said that his own. He's a roar. Can't be. He's not a backup.
So that
Like no.
No,
Listen. I think he's willing to be a backup, and this probably just when you're MVP. Then like you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
He's not a backup.
So to the panel, specifically you, Josh, if you are a GM, because this is coming from sports minds to all y'all, do you want, if you have a young quarterback, do you want Cam Newton looming over?
No.
That's why he got out of New England.
Yeah, it's the roar.
Yeah.
It's that roar. I mean, cause listen, and this might not be Cam, but it's Cam. Cam is not a backup. Yeah, and I know that's not a good explanation. You're not supposed to use the word in the definition, but he's Cam Newton,
It's the
and he's not old.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once you're a star player and you get old, it's like now you're a backup.
It's
not.
It's his personality too.
I think
Yeah. And I think, and I honestly believe he would have played back up to Mac Jones. Like, and I
But
Like he said, it was a Mac experience.
before I get the only thing that I have about Cam is that think about other than the fact that he was in Carolina, it's just you can't have him in a big market. Like he is his aurora is what is only going to be inflated by whatever market he's in. He went to New England. Like I know New England is not looked at as a big market, but Tom Brady has just came.
it's about to
there.
turn back to the market.
Right, it was a big market in name. So it's like
Well,
they're talking about like having him go to Dallas at one point. I'm like, that's a big market. Don't do that for him. Then
Yeah.
the football team was another one we just talked about. That's another big market. So it's like you can't have him in a big market like maybe the Vikings. No disrespect, but not.
Kirk Cousins is vaccinated, so
Well, yeah, that's true, but he ain't Cam.
But he's also your starting quarterback.
Right.
Like, and Cam was your starting quarterback, but you ain't got no young boy behind him that's like, all
I
right,
think
the
true.
juice is
True.
good.
Only difference is Kirk did like that. They just paid. So
yeah,
there's no way out of that deal.
you have a lot of
I get-
obligation with that. But I think it's the
All guaranteed money.
I think it's the bravado and the valor this man presents in the locker room that impedes the growth of a lot of young quarterbacks. It's kind of like when you see athletes back in the day. You can even hear guys like talk about like it's equivalent to like saying like let's just say like Steve McNair was coming in RIP, and then let's just say Steve McNair was there and it was Cam. Would you want Steve McNair impeding on that
No.
role?
I don't want
Exactly.
Steve McNair there.
Exactly.
Which
So,
is the I don't want Brett Favre sitting on the bench and Aaron Rodgers.
exactly.
Facts.
RIP. But like I said, man, it's the bravado and the valor. Some guys just have that.
The only way it works is if Brett Favre comes out and he's like, look, man, I'm done. I and nobody, this never happened. But they're like, look, man, I'm done. I don't want to quit playing football yet, but like, this is his squad. And if he gets hurt, I'll play. But nobody does that.
No.
Like,
No.
I've never seen it before.
You already seen it done this year. It's my time.
I mean, you seen it. You seen it in Dallas when Romo got hurt and Romo got healthy and Dak took over. But everybody talking about when's Romo coming back.
Right.
So it was already
But
that was already
that man was a
But
premature
Romo
mess
wanted
up.
to, Romo wanted to play still though. You know what I'm saying? He
But
wanted
still
to.
came in the locker room and said, "It's his team."
exactly.
He came in
He
the
had
locker room
no
and was like, "You know what?
choice.
It's like, but still, even when I guess you're right because I guess Brett Favre, he still was like,
The difference between Brett Favre and Tony Romo is Brett Favre actually won something. And Tony
That was a
Romo,
while ago. Though,
but still he was winning.
he was aided, man. It was like,
Right,
Tony,
I was
he
like-
was winning, and it's
Right,
no
right.
disrespect because I know me and Josh have
Guarantee
so many.
Hall of Fame. I said Brett Favre. At the
oh
time,
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
shot. There's
First
no
battle.
shot
Like-
against Tony.
Tony Romo's not getting in.
Yeah.
At one point though, I will admit,
It's like
if you look at Tony Romo's stats for 5 years, this man's stats were impressive as a quarterback.
Tony
Except for the last
Tony-
5 minutes.
He's gonna get it done.
Tony Romo is my favorite heartbreak.
Your biggest one.
Hey, get me right there. What's up, baby? Are we going on the? We getting on the plane? Yeah, you get on by yourself. Man. You be like, damn. Yeah.
Hey,
You thought you was going to the Super Bowl and you ain't gonna watch by
I
yourself.
bring the jet to you.
You gonna do me like that? Please. Please. Let's switch to the association, man. Ben Simmons. Ooh. We got something that we can get. You scoot up, Cheryl. We got something we can talk about.
I've been waiting for your take
I
on
got
that too.
a good take on this.
So man, listen, I'm gonna go first. That's just what I like to do.
Yes, sir.
So Ben Simmons, I'm not upset with him. Doc Rivers put him on an island, and I wouldn't want to play for Doc Rivers no more. The only way I'm playing for Philly is Doc Rivers is gone. And so, can you win with what Doc say? Yeah,
Right now, I don't know.
Yeah,
Right now, question to answer.
Well, man, what you mean?
That was
Like,
But
and that,
today, Doc was on air talking about. I didn't say that. You said it.
Yes, he did.
You said it.
Yes, he did.
and with that, like, he really like the fans. Philly's a tough place to play,
Easily.
and you need your coach to have your back.
You have to.
And Ben Simmons is still young. Like, he's not a rookie, but he's still a young basketball player. And Doc should have had his back. Well, we can win with him, even if he don't think he can. We can win with him. We'll be back next year. We're gonna get better. But he got isolated, and the media destroyed him.
Because it ain't Doc's job to make the decision. It ain't Doc's job to make the trade.
Right.
He ain't
And the Philly media destroyed him. Doc has a championship. He didn't. And people say he's great, even though he loses all the time. He could have just said that he was great, good. I think Doc's overrated. So he should have just
We had to talk.
I agree.
I
very much agree with that.
I think
Very
that
much agree with that.
he laid out like Doc really laid him out on a platter, and the Philly media and Philly in general destroyed him. And no, I don't want to play for Philly no more.
And it's true, Doc.
I understand.
Talk to me, Mark.
I'll just say this about Doc. Like, overrated as a coach, benefited from a lot having the big three. You have an astute basketball mind. You not only had a few, you have a lot. So you have Rondo, you have Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, who doesn't get enough credit for being an astute basketball mind. And you also had another one, Rasheed Wallace. Nobody wants to talk about that.
On that squad.
Yeah.
He was on
a championship squad, but he was on the next year.
And
He was
on his bench, he had some great.
Exactly. Tony Allen's another one. Change post. So crazy. Yeah, I forgot. Okay. Yeah. So, but he has a history of putting people on the island. DeAndre Jordan, he put on the island. Blake Griffin, he put on the island. They went out and digitally mocked a whole draft. Basically, a whole thing about this man having the whole Mr. Clipper idea. You also put Chris Paul on the island enough time, but he has history.
The players love him though.
Players, not a lot of players rave about this man the way they do. Paul Pierce, because here's the thing: Doc needs a team of where your best players are veteran players, older players, battle-tested players. You have to understand, this man has not really got to the test of time because he lives in the 80s and 90s era still.
And you heard what Phil Jackson said, Mark. Hey, listen, his teams play good. They gonna give it up in the end. They gonna give it up.
Exactly.
Like it's a first date, baby. You going home happy, baby. You going home happy, baby. You going home happy. You know what I'm saying? Prom night, baby.
I put for him
I'm
on the
just
spot,
saying.
but listen, man, I gotta put something on Ben too.
Talk to me.
I will say this because, come on, bro, like there's some in your camp, people talking about like you ain't improved your game, but my thing about it is this, bro, like you are a professional athlete, you are also a grown man. Shooting, as we know, is repetition. You gotta get those shots up. I don't care about me seeing you on
500 shots a day, and we had stuff to do. All
Right.
right, we had stuff to do. This
Exactly.
is your job. I'm getting up at least 2,000.
right. My bad.
Easily.
My
Go
thing
ahead.
about
Go ahead. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
No, you good though. I appreciate that. But like that's what I'm saying, like you're a professional athlete. Now, do I agree? Now I would say this: Brett Brown and Doc Rivers used this man wrong. Because if it was me, I'll be using him like Russell Westbrook. You are 6'10", 230, have a handle, you can pass the ball with a gift of the best of the NBA. I'm having you attack the basket the whole entire time. You can say Colin Coward, you can say any of them dudes say, oh, he can shoot, he can't shoot. But if you're not going to go ahead and give this man the gift of ability to go ahead and put him in a position to win, how can you really say he needs to know how to shoot?
I got a real question though, real
Yes.
quick. You want to go?
Go ahead, no.
As a basketball player, you know this. You could say attack all the time. Russell Westbrook will shoot the basketball.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons will not shoot the
I
basketball.
think too, he's also those players are the best players on our team. He ain't the best player on our team. It's Joel Embiid. So
Right.
Joel Embiid is a center, and Doc wants to put him in the post. So that kind of eliminates what Ben Simmons can do because Joel Embiid is kind of
And Ben Simmons, it hurts the offense. You have to be willing, even if you miss, you got to be willing to shoot the basketball.
Get him up.
Like people are. I was watching one time. Like he's like, bro, they're guarding him and right where just enough to not get 3 seconds on defense, and it's like your offense can't work that way.
Right.
You have to be able to. You have to shoot the basketball.
I'll say this also. Even Rajon Rondo, when he played later in his career, with if anybody remembers that 2012 run, man was hitting shots.
But
Yeah,
even,
I'm
let's
telling
go
you.
back to 08 though. Even then, nobody was guarding him that far back because
Right.
he will at least shoot the basketball.
They were guarding him that far back, but he would at least take the shot. But the simple fact, the problem is this with him. As a guard, as a person, if you're gonna go ahead, because my problem was when they gave Doc Rivers that power in the Clippers, I said that's their biggest downfall they ever did. You cannot give a coach and a president, unless his name is Pat Riley, that much power.
Even then,
It's a stretch.
That's why he found a coach.
Yeah, exactly. With Eric Spoelstra. But my thing about it is, man, like it's on both ends. Doc, you got to be a little bit more attached to the media nowadays, because your words can affect. Your words can affect to the nowadays players.
You're in Philly. You're not.
And you're in Philly. Philly's one of the cute.
LA.
Nobody cares what you say.
Now listen,
if you're, I'm about to say LA is a super tough market. You're right. It's not LA.
I love LA, but LA ain't Philly and New York.
No, LA. No, yes it is. If you're the Lakers, and you're the Dodgers,
If you're a Laker and a Dodger fan, Laker and a Dodger fan. Clippers, no.
We don't care what you say to the player. We don't care what y'all feel. We don't give a fuck.
But my thing about it is this: the issue. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this: the issues on both sides. I feel like Doc could have handled the situation better, but he did. He said what he had to say as a coach. But
that was terrible. Your
Exactly.
coach got a back.
Exactly. But Ben, to be honest though, if y'all really look at statistics, his last 2 years in the playoffs, your playoff production as a player needs to go up.
So you tell the media, we going with Ben Simmons. You go tell the owner, trade this motherfucker. Get him out of here.
Right, yeah,
You done
told the media that now you done dogged me. And like I'm
Oh,
out.
I'm like I
out,
said,
nigga,
it's
fuck
both.
you,
It's
nigga.
both.
Nigga,
It's
fuck
both.
you,
It's
and
both.
you ain't even that good.
Right.
It's
Like,
both.
you
It's
already-
both sides. It's
Talk to
both.
me, Rand.
It's
Talk to me,
both
Rand.
sides. It's both sides.
I say you got Doc messed up, Joel B messed up at the press conference. Both of them, I think, are getting.
Yeah, he wanted to take Joel B call.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think both of them are getting orders from the owner saying, "Hey, I need to go try to make this man happy. Try to get him back. We stole him a lot of money. We got to pay him all his money.
Now, if he set up, they ain't got to pay him.
They don't have to pay him, but they'll
They done paid him for the last
they'll
6
be
months,
terrible.
though.
They'll be terrible for management. If they don't pay him, they'll be terrible. That'll be bad for free agents in the future. They're gonna say, okay, this man was happy. He just came to y'all fresh and asked for trade. Y'all now they trade. Y'all already added him to the media. It will look terrible. They don't pay him. It will look terrible. They should have traded him last summer. Honestly, that's my take. They messed up by wanting to go a whole season with him and fucked up. That's my take.
See,
Man, this something Ben Simmons. This should be damn well. And even with the thing, trying to attack you, he's scared of the free throw line too.
That's true.
He can't make free throws
That's
either.
true.
At least Russell Westbrook can knock his down when needed.
Yeah,
True.
every
Sometimes.
let me.
Good enough.
But
Good
look,
enough to
look,
be
I-
I
respected.
think, yeah, good enough.
This is
yeah.
my question to my amazing co-host. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's upon him to get his game together, but would he be feeling this way if his support system didn't support him? What's your response to that? Like Joel Embiid supposed to be your boy, Doc Rivers supposed to be your father figure on the squad.
Joel
Joel
Joel defended him.
No,
Joel
he
did.
did. Not initially.
Joel
Yeah,
said,
he did
Joel
defend
said
him.
it's gonna be hard to say, but I feel like the momentum changed when we had a lot of level pass. We got to go. That was the exact play Ben Simmons. I ain't say his name. That play Ben Simmons passed the ball, tackle, got fouled, took the free throws, everything down here. Joel said it right to the end.
So T, to you, yes, he needs to improve on his game.
Yeah,
But is he wrong for wanting to leave?
No, Ben Simmons not wrong for wanting to leave, but
your brothers played.
if I'm Doc, my job is on the line too. Like
Not really. Not that.
No,
not the first
Philly
season.
is only going to take so much. If we keep getting to the playoffs and losing, and I have Ben Simmons, my job is on the line.
That's the first season, though.
Especially after history of getting to the playoffs and lose, bro. Like I'm just on a short leash too.
But you can lose your job putting your players out on blast like that.
If they trade Ben Simmons and get
They're gonna be garbage.
Dan
But Ben is
Oh,
not.
well, never
if they
mind.
get like an all-star
They're
caliber
not-
point guard
Bro,
for Ben
there's
Simmons,
no way they're gonna get that because they want
they
too
ain't
much.
getting that. But they don't get an all-star player.
They want Stephen Clay or Steph or Clay
No.
and
First
two
of all-
first round picks. You like,
No.
God,
Do y'all understand?
No.
Y'all know who the
No.
GM
They said we need
Y'all-
Steph or
Y'all
Clay.
know who the GM is. His
Yeah.
name is Daryl Morey. Do y'all really?
Didn't he just get fired? No, the basketball.
He
He
basketball-
resigned.
got fired from Houston.
No,
He
the
resigned.
best. I think the president of basketball operations just got fired.
Elton Brand.
No, but
Elton Brand was.
Elton
Elton Brand was, and he put a good team together.
If he got fired, then he scapegoated. He got scapegoated.
Elton Brand did a great job for Philly.
But I
did a great job.
think Brett Brown got scapegoated as well. I don't think he was the coach for the job, but I think he got fired. It was his fault. He got fired. I think it's GM's fault. They should have traded Ben Simmons 2 fucking years ago.
Exactly.
2 fucking years ago. It was obvious it wasn't gonna work out. He wasn't shooting the ball.
This
Still.
is his second head coach, and we're still in the same situation.
Yeah, like we seeing videos every summer. This nigga shooting the ball.
I just don't. That's what I was about
He
to
ain't
say.
doing it. He
Hey,
not
wait,
doing
wait,
it.
can I talk? Like, hey, I'm just like, hey, every summer I'm like,
Every
this
summer.
nigga clipping, and then we get the season. I'm like, bro, he won't shoot.
He was doing this. He just
Hey,
he probably ain't pop bacon, bro. Get
what
out
am
the
I?
game, bro.
Inside the locker room, talk to me.
Wes not. You had a great little point about it. We talked about it earlier.
Good, Wes.
Like kind of how Marcus said, I gotta say it's on both sides. To Doc Rivers, I mean, like you said, we have seen it so many times before. They say he's such a good leader of men, but he don't know how to manage egos at all. I think he puts himself so much bigger than the team.
Which is why Ray Allen and KG hate each other.
He's all like I said, we saw with the Clippers. He thought he made himself so much bigger than that Clipper team. He started to not realize that,
Blake back to the locker
Yeah,
room.
yeah. You
Blake back to the locker room.
Blake was already here before CP got there. So you got to already focus on these two to understand that, get them to mesh instead of just worrying about how,
How
you
you
look.
looking.
Stuff. Yeah, how I look and everything, how my team is going and all that. Nah,
It's kind of why Phil Jackson was a great coach. I'm not
yeah,
trying to cut you off, but
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
No, that's a very fair statement.
So you go into that, and then on top of that, like I said, with Ben, you know, you get paid this $200 million contract. We expect you to get progress. We gotta see you progress. Like we are saying, you are all-star, just like Joel had. You gotta see so, especially when it comes playoff time. You got to improve. You got to improve your shooting. You gotta stop trying to dump it off doing this and that. You know, we get it. Even just go for a regular mid range. Just work for the mid range. That's all you have to do.
He won't do it.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we're asking.
That's
That's all we're asking. That's
He
literally
won't
all
do
we're
it.
asking.
Shoot a 15 footer, bro.
Yeah, it's just a
Shoot a
bad.
free
Don't
throw.
do a floater. Melo do the floater from 15 foot. Just like
It's so simple. Who cares?
Melo.
Steve-O, what you got to say about this?
Now, I personally, I think it was all strategic. Even when I'm serious, and I'm very serious. Even when Doc got there, the whole thing about Ben Simmons was already circulating throughout the media. Like people forget that. Like there were there were segments on like First Take and whatnot about like, oh
Should they
well,
keep them together?
right? Should they keep them together? They don't play well. And so as soon as Doc Rivers get here,
I can fix it.
all of a sudden
I
all of
can
a
fix
sudden
it.
like,
I'm like,
oh well, I don't know if we can win with. I'm like.
Have you tried with us?
Right. I'm like, dude, that was super strategic. I think he has somebody in mind and who he wants to get into Philly to make him the team that they, his own. It's just they want too much.
James
And
Harden, it was Damian Lillard.
that part is still. I'm not really sure who. I think they've been saying, like
Kyrie gonna retire to go to Philly.
Yeah, Kyrie ain't.
He
Bro,
should.
Kyrie,
For sure.
Kyrie, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Kyrie and Durant, I don't know what it is, bro. Good mix.
It's a
It
great
is.
mix.
It is.
Him and James Harden, it's a great mix.
It's so
But-
beautiful.
Kyrie, and I think James and KD is better than Kyrie and KD.
But
I
you know
think
what?
Kyrie can have all three.
But
So
man, I
match
honestly,
made.
I would rather have Ben Simmons than Kyrie if I was KD.
No.
If I was KD, I would.
No.
Because
You know why? Because you know why? Kyrie is the perfect two guard.
If
Perfect two guard for their
I'm
offense.
KD, I'm the perfect everything. I'm KD.
But you
But-
Give
know,
me Ben
but
Simmons.
you know
so
what?
I,
But
so,
you know
so
what?
I ain't gotta guard Giannis.
But
Give me Ben Simmons, so I ain't gotta guard Giannis no more. Give me Ben Simmons.
But
I don't
then,
guard Giannis. Give me Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, you guard Giannis. I'll score the points you want to score. Ben Simmons, you guard
listen,
Giannis.
man.
Stop him.
Listen.
That's part of the reason why he left the Warriors. I mean, he wanted to go to the Warriors. He needed people to kind of take off that pressure. Like, I don't have to be worried about me taking all these same shots. That's why him and Kyrie match so
But
well.
now he
because
gotta take out shots and guard the player.
But he don't
Man,
have to
that's
take
why
out the
that's why I
shot
don't
because
think
Kyrie
Ben
there.
Simmons will fit well
Listen,
at all.
man.
No,
Dude,
that's
listen.
put him in
No, he
bad.
don't have Kyrie there.
Listen.
If he
You
healthy.
want KD or
To
Kyrie?
piggyback.
Last shot. Kyrie or KD? KD all day.
Which one do you
Oh,
want?
wait.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Hold me up. Wait.
It don't matter. It does not matter.
All day. You said
Please. Time out. I mean, he did hit that shot on Steph, and he did come up on the
But
bench.
it is Steph. But
That was a good defense from
KD
Steph.
can do
too,
everything
though.
Kyrie can do, but
Ram,
he's 7 feet tall.
Ram. No.
But
No.
but the point is that Kyrie can let's say KD is here, Kyrie is not.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
That Kyrie do off
I'ma
the court,
give-
bro, but he's a basketball.
Let's
savant.
say
He's
this.
a reason
Let's
why.
say this.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I'ma give.
I'm the point guard.
I'ma give
It is.
Kyrie his flowers right now.
Kyrie way better than Ben Simmons.
I'ma give
bro.
Kyrie his
It's
flowers.
not even close.
I'ma give Kyrie his.
I ain't say that.
I'ma give Kyrie his flowers right now as a basketball player. Never, and we all play. Never in the history have we seen a guy come into the league at 6'3", come in and have the footwork of Hakeem Olajuwon and Kobe, the basketball savants of offensive durability and also
Don't
versatility.
say durability.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Kyrie.
Durability as
Kyrie.
far as like
I love
getting
Kyrie.
any
I
shots,
don't like that word.
getting
either.
the
You gotta use another word.
versatility.
Versatility. Okay, there you go.
Offensive
Hey,
versatility.
we can rock with that word.
Versatility.
That's why I would rather have Ben Simmons.
Versatility,
There-
and also
what?
the offensive awareness,
Okay, go ahead.
and also the ability to get shots off like Allen Iverson did in separation.
I don't disagree with you at all. But when you got two guys that are bigger than him that can do everything he does on offense, just
Ben Simmons cannot do what he
No,
does.
no. I ain't talking about Ben Simmons. You
talking
got James Harden, you got KD. Both those guys can do almost everything that Kyrie can do. That's good. It's not, if not better than Kyrie. I think James and KD are better shooters than Kyrie.
They are.
Say that again.
No. James is not a better shooter than Kyrie statistically. He's not, or efficiently. He's not.
Some years he has been.
One or two.
He's
One or
more
two.
volume because
I don't know.
One or
he's more
two.
volume.
One or two.
He's
I'm
more
out.
volume.
I'm out. Man, come on,
No,
baby.
no.
It's close.
Hey, listen.
James Harden.
Listen.
Has Kyrie ever? I'm
Listen.
gonna go inside. Has Kyrie ever 36 in the season?
He didn't have to.
Well, he needed
He
to.
needed to before he got LeBron. He couldn't do it. He couldn't fucking do it. Before he got LeBron, he couldn't do shit.
He was a young player back then.
I love Kyrie. I'm a huge Kyrie fan.
He was a young player back then.
Before Kyrie got LeBron, after he got LeBron, Kyrie ain't done shit. Let's be real. Let's be real.
In Cleveland,
Let's be real. Before and after LeBron, Kyrie ain't been shit. Let's be real.
I mean, you know what? Time out.
Let's be real.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you right there. Because
I love this.
before Kyrie Irving got hurt in Boston, they were 35-11, and he was top 2.
That was their problem.
No. He was top 2 in MVP. They were 35-11. My man was averaging 24, 7, and 5, and he was averaging at least a steal per game, shooting 47 and 42 from the 3-point line. You gotta give the man his flowers when he does his work.
I give him his flowers.
This
I
is
give him his
it.
flowers.
Now, second season,
Now-
I can't defend it.
After that, he got hurt. They got better. After he got hurt, they went
Facts.
further. After he got hurt, they went further.
Facts.
He got out the
No,
situation, and I love Kyrie.
No.
I was mad.
You
I was
can't-
like,
you
damn,
can't
my
say-
guy got hurt. They got
You
better.
can't say they
My
got
guy-
better.
my-
You can't say they got better because they had a
Steven,
great
my-
player.
Steven,
Shout out my man Tater Tots, by the
Steven?
way.
Did they get
Tater
better?
Tots.
Did they get better?
They did.
They can you say
I love Kyrie.
They
but
were the
he's
number
a
one
selfish
seed
ass
at
player. I love
35-11.
Kyrie. I love Kyrie. I love Kyrie to death, man.
Yeah.
But he will die. He will die on his heel. He's a 6'3", better, more efficient version of Carmelo Anthony. I love Kyrie. I love Kyrie to death. I hate to say that. I love him to death. But before he got LeBron, he wasn't shit. After LeBron left, he got KD. He can't stay healthy. Even before
That
he
is
got
very true.
I can't say that's why I said I would rather at
But
this
you can
point.
say that about
if I
a
got
number of
if I got
players in the
KD
NBA.
and if I got KD and James Harden, give me Ben Simmons. Give me a defender that I got that's going to be a high end defender,
But he's
all-star level defender, and also level playmaker. James, you go out there and do what you do on offense. KD, you do what you do on
I
offense.
honestly
as well.
can't refute that though.
No,
I'm not saying
I
Ben
can
Simmons is
refute-
better than
I
KD
can't
and Kyrie.
refute- I can't refute it.
Ben Simmons is obviously not better
I
than
can
Kyrie.
refute.
Obviously, he's not better
I
than Kyrie.
can't
I will
refute that
refute
though.
your statement if the man cannot hit a free throw and stay in the game.
But in there,
I ain't gonna lie to you though. Right now, I got the Nets winning. Like if we got healthy to healthy Lakers Nets, I got the Nets winning.
I got the Lakers winning the
regardless.
series.
I got the Nets winning. But if you put Ben Simmons on that team, I got the Lakers winning the 6.
I got the
Ben
Lakers
Simmons
winning
on that
7.
team. I still got Ben Simmons winning. I got the Nets winning right now. Oh, I got the Lakers chance. Lakers chance.
No.
They give Ben Simmons.
No.
I still think the Nets have the equal, if not better, chance to win the championship.
Oh,
I think less
no,
for me.
no,
but
no.
we'll see.
You know
It's
what?
never
You
gonna
know what?
happen,
You know
but,
what?
like,
I'm gonna just say this about the game of basketball. Everyone understands that defense does what it needs to do, but you have to be able to have guys on the team who can give you a certain amount of buckets.
LeBron's just gonna sit.
Availability.
LeBron's just gonna sit under the free throw line and he'll never like Ben Simmons will never score.
Availability is the best.
It's
Let me
not.
go.
It's
Kyrie ain't
DeAndre
out
Jordan.
there.
He's not there anymore.
No.
Right?
Kyrie isn't
You
out
don't need
there.
him to do that.
I'm just going to.
I'm just saying.
Listen.
It makes sense.
In the theory of basketball, if you look at history, you have to have guys who are able to score 25 plus or some, or you got to give a bunch of guys, a la the Detroit Pistons of 03 or 04, who can give you at least 22 plus in
They got
different
lucky because
ways.
the Lakers have.
That's true, but here's the thing. If you look at NBA history, you got to have at least 2 or 3 guys who can go ahead and give you that.
So you telling me Ben Simmons can get 25?
No,
I
No,
don't. Not in the playoffs. I don't think
no.
he can.
It's
Now,
not
now
gonna
listen
happen.
to this. Listen
not
to
gonna
this.
happen.
Ben Simmons had he was playing with Joel Embiid who plays in the post. You telling me if he playing with James Harden and KD, the post ain't gonna be wide open? He can't drive the
That's
lane and dunk
Who
every
cares if
time.
he
Yeah,
can't
they
shoot?
do it
Yeah,
ain't
so
there
they're not
no
gonna
more.
shoot. That's
Giannis
aggression.
scored 50 in the play. Giannis
That's
scored 50.
aggression.
Not to
That's
mention-
averaged 40 in the
aggression.
finals.
Giannis
Hold
will
up.
shoot.
Hold up.
He will shoot, but he didn't have to average
That-
like 40, 50.
That's aggression.
Come on, bro.
I know.
Come on.
But
I said the
clogging
same
up
thing.
the lane
I
for
said
the
the
Nets.
same thing. I said the same thing. Giannis,
Nobody's
I
gonna-
said
Exactly.
before Giannis won the
He
ring, I
has
said
shooters on the
listen,
Sixers.
before Giannis won the ring, I said if Giannis don't get a jump shot, he never won the ring. You prove me wrong. Without him, he won the ring without a jump shot. Ben Simmons can do it Especially playing with KD. Y'all did it with Chris Middleton and fucking Drew Holiday. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Tell me Ben Simmons,
Last
KD,
words, last words.
and James Harden can do it?
Last words.
What's
Last
that?
words. Go ahead. Last words. Make it short.
I'm gonna say this. Look at history. You gotta have a few guys who can get you that bucket 25 plus.
Right.
Look at the Lakers in the 80s. You can go back to the Lakers in the 70s. You can go back to the Bulls. You can go back to the Lakers in the early 2000s, the Spurs in the early 2000s. You can go even to the Miami Heat. If you have to have this. Even though defense wins, even they say defense wins championships. Listen, gotta have them dogs in there who's gonna go in there and get you that bucket. You trade Kyrie for Ben, that's all fine. But here's the thing about Ben, though, what people don't really want to talk about. It's the turnovers in the last 3 or 4 minutes in the last 3 or 4 years. That's a problem. You get Kyrie that ball, you know what's gonna happen.
He's gonna shoot it.
That's 20.
He's gonna shoot it.
He's gonna score.
Listen. James Harden, when he played with Mike D'Antoni, has turned into the prototypical point guard of this era. So that's 20. So you got 3 guys, and you got a guy who can finish, but he doesn't mind deferring to 2 other guys who can score. But you still have 3 guys on the team who can give you 30 on a light night.
I'll give you 40.
40 on a light night. And the Lakers can give that as well.
Because KD.
Like I'm saying,
Last word, Ren. You got any last words?
So we just shooting shit. Ain't gonna happen because KD gonna say no to anything.
Lakers and 7. That's all I gotta say.
So Lakers, let's go.
I hope you're right, but objectively
I hope they
speaking,
don't give Ben Simmons.
no, speak on that real quick. I just need to put that out there.
Please.
Objectively speaking, where you got in the finals? Lakers or Nets? Everybody's healthy, and we ain't gotta get into it.
Right now, that's when it up.
Everybody else,
sure.
But everybody will be healthy. But everybody will be
Talk to me.
No,
Objectively speaking.
Nets.
Subjectively speaking.
I'm an LA fan, so Lakers. So
We all LA fans.
I'm not even Lakers.
Nah, they too old.
Right now,
Healthy.
right now it's too early to tell. So, but it's still
They ain't got enough points to put on the board.
Thank you.
It's healthy, but that's what I was gonna say too, Mark. Availability is availability, and Kyrie.
Yeah, chances are he won't be there.
You know what?
It's not, and it's sad because it's a 60% chance Kyrie will not be.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
So we getting to the end of the show. It's getting a little late. This is actually my favorite part. Let's talk who's gonna win these next games on week 3 of the NFL.
Rapid
fire. Certain team. If it's your team, you can give an explanation. If not, just tell me who's gonna win.
We're gonna call the games after y'all.
All right, I got it first. Carolina versus Houston. We're gonna go clock. I guess it's clockwise. That's counterclockwise. I got it. Carolina versus Houston.
Carolina.
I'm going Carolina as well.
Carolina.
That means I'm nervous.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Betting man.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That means Houston's gonna win because when everybody does that, our experience on the show is
take Houston with the points though.
Hey,
say Houston by a field goal.
Colts in Tennessee.
Oh wait.
I'm going Titans.
My
bad.
There's a lot of people in the studio right now, but it's us 3.
I'm taking Tennessee. Carson Wentz hurt.
I already do my Titans.
Yeah, I'm going Titans because there's no Carson Wentz. Because I was gonna say the Colts, but you.
I was gonna say the Colts.
But you just said the one you're right. Wentz is hurt. Go for it.
Henry is back. Let me see.
Titans.
Julio Ball.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. The boring game of the week. I don't know who to pick. Atlanta versus the Giants.
Sleeper.
I know one pick.
I'm taking ATL.
Oh, that's a bad pick.
I'm going Giants. I need Saquon to give me some points up in the board.
Yeah, I'm going Giants. ATL.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a sleeper game.
I'm going with the Giants. Matty Ice is washed. He said he's now ice. He's more like liquid, baby. And so you know what I'm saying? There's no ice. Yeah, let's do it.
Going Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
At first I was like,
Thank
I think
you.
about that, like,
Thank
yeah.
you. Next game for me, I feel like it's gonna be a shootout. We're going it's Chargers versus Kansas City.
KC.
Yeah, Kansas City. Child.
We can't beat KC with a shootout.
So they're coming off a loss too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Coming off a loss.
Go ahead. You said KC.
I'm going KC.
I'm going KC as well. I mean, but
Good game.
it's gonna be a good
High
game.
scoring game.
It's gonna be a high scoring game.
scoring game.
It's not gonna be a blowout.
No.
Kansas City. Real quick, Kansas City don't look that great.
On defense, no.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't be scored on.
24 minutes.
No. But on offense, the first half of the Browns game, they did not look good.
Well, I mean, it's
It's
the
the
opening
first
game.
week. Okay.
Yeah.
First week.
Talk to me.
Kansas City won't be close.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, this the
okay.
one. This the.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, I like that.
You said
There it go.
Yeah, Chargers.
Okay.
Bengals versus Pittsburgh.
Hey.
Talk to me. You can talk to me if you need to. Talk to me. Why are they gonna win?
I actually do not have them winning this game.
Oh, talk to me. You gotta talk to me then.
The only reason is because I personally think the game is going to get to a point where it's going to have to get to a shootout, and that's where the Bengals thrive. And that's the only. I said this last year when they went against Tennessee.
Big Ben good in the shootout though.
He is good in the shootout, but the defense is what the defense is what I worry about when it comes to stuff like this, because the Steelers are not good in man-to-man coverage. They're not good in man-to-man coverage. They get burnt every time. Jamar Chase, T against all those guys. I personally think that it's going to be a close game, and I hate to say it, but I don't think the Steelers can put up enough points. I just really would have come down. I don't think they'll be able to put up enough points.
You got Mark. Okay, I respect that.
I got the Bengals coming out on top.
Man, I don't feel like Keller, man. So I want the Bengals to lose. I want the Bengals to be so bad he get fired. I think they're gonna win this game.
You got Pittsburgh.
I got the Bengals. God, and I want the Bengals to win.
They done jinxed it so much. I don't even want to pick my pick no more.
Say your truth.
I got the Bengals winning the game. I just I don't believe in the Steelers.
Not right now.
It's something about them. They don't feel, we grew up in the age of Palamayu and all them. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, some dogs on defense.
I hate these
I got the
motherfuckers,
score.
but they gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, I hate
I'm
these
saying
motherfuckers.
Hines Ward and all.
Like they soft and Big Ben. It's time to put the cleats up.
I think it's 30. I think
Go
it's
ahead.
30. I think it's 34,
But this
24.
rapid fire, we get to it some more. Talk to me. Who you got winning, brother?
I got Pittsburgh winning.
Okay, closer
Okay.
blowout.
Like,
It'll be close, but
like
if
28-24.
TJ Watt and that defensive line and most defensive line is playing,
Okay.
that Bengals don't have a chance.
Well, remember they beat them last year too, though. At towards the end.
And we'll run.
I get it. I'm just saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Talk to
man.
me,
I just definitely the Bengals. I think the Bengals just because the Steelers coming off. They still got so many injuries right now this week. It's too much of a toss up right now. So I'm about to go with the Bengals right now.
I will say this just before you get to the next one. If Ben does not play, that is when I will give the Steelers a chance, because they're gonna have to change their game plan. I'm serious. Mason Rudolph throws a better deep ball, and that's where we'll catch them off guard. But if they have to, I don't trust it. I don't.
Ben's your guy, baby.
Dwayne Haskins?
Either one. They have to change the game plan.
He said either one.
Either
He
one.
said pick 'em.
Either one.
Hey,
They have a better deep ball.
Bro, you over, bro, huh?
I'm not over it. You see the line, man. He don't take care of his body. He don't take care of his body.
He is
don't
fat.
give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. He
Yeah,
took care of his body
yeah,
since
he
the
had
last.
shit.
He took care of his last. He
He
took care of his body since the last Super Bowl.
Chicago, Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland.
Tough.
No, I'm taking Cleveland.
Justin Fields starting, right?
Go. Justin Fields starting.
Nah, this Justin Fields playing against an elite defense. I gotta go Cleveland.
OBJ back.
OBJ
No, I don't think he back.
He back. Playing?
I got
He is
Cleveland.
not
I think
officially
he said he
back.
was back.
He's
He
not
had
officially back.
Who you got, Steven?
But I said I'm taking Cleveland.
I'm taking Cleveland.
Taking Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland. It's
Justin Fields starting against that D line. That D line
Yeah,
is
it's in
serious,
Cleveland.
man. D line is serious. I'm going
And Mac, I trust. Chicago, baby.
What?
And Mac, I trust that defense ain't no joke.
The defense ain't no joke.
That defense ain't the same what it was 2 years ago.
Yo,
That defense ain't no joke.
hold up.
It is Cleveland.
Hey, Nick Chubb, I trust.
Hey, that's fair.
It's Cleveland.
Oh,
Nick Chubb and Kareem
Good.
Hunt.
That's cool. Hey, that's fair.
Jarvis Landry's on the IR, by the way.
right,
Huh?
exactly.
I ain't no
OBJ
joke.
down.
Then he had his ACL, right? Okay.
He ain't though.
Oh,
But we'll see. I like Odell a lot, so you know what I'm saying. I hope that
They
you
don't
right.
like
Well,
him.
actually, I
They
think
don't
well,
let
I-
Odell
actually,
rest properly,
I think Jarvis is better for the offense that they run, but OBJ here.
OBJ and
Jarvis-
Baker Mayfield
Jarvis
aren't
won't
good
be
for each
there.
other. They don't
Yeah,
play good
yeah,
together.
they don't.
They never do.
They don't.
Since
They ain't
Odell
play, they ain't play good together
As
since
soon as he goes out, that's when the offense starts thriving last year.
You're right.
Okay. Anyways, Baltimore, Detroit.
I actually got Detroit, man. I'm saying, boy, them boys can pass. I'm sorry. DeAndre Swift look good. TJ Hawkinson cannot be guarded. And I've been telling people I love Quintez Cephas. I've been trying to tell people I love the
All
way
right,
they.
Marcus.
telling you,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Marcus.
Baltimore in the close one. It's gonna be a close one. 2017.
I'm going Baltimore, man. After last week's performance,
Detroit. I just feel it. Hey, listen, this is a hard pick. I don't know what it is. Cause really Baltimore wasn't supposed to win the last game, and they kind of did. So I think they're gonna blow this one. I think they're gonna lose by like 10 points. Yeah. Go ahead.
My bad, yeah.
Baltimore, but they could let down coming off an emotional win against Kansas City.
Okay.
He doubling down on his picks. If I would have said that, he would have been like, he's doubling down. He's doubling down. Look at him. He's edging his
It's
picks.
gonna be Baltimore, but I think it's gonna be close. Once again, you can see how Detroit roll. They stick with you, but the
Yeah, they
problem
do.
is that they still learning how they don't know how to finish yet.
With
Probably
each other.
their defense is a little still.
It's
It's
fair.
fair. So,
Another boring game, but I know who y'all gonna pick. At least I feel like it. I'm gonna tell y'all house right now. You got New Orleans and New England.
how's that for?
I'm actually taking New Orleans in this one.
I actually like good.
I'm taking New Orleans.
I'm going Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans.
James.
Fair enough.
Fair
I
enough.
thought everybody was gonna take New Orleans. I thought it was gonna be unanimous, but we'll take that.
Defense, scary.
Arizona, oh yeah, Arizona versus Jacksonville.
Arizona.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
Oh, I knew we need an explanation.
He
guys.
said we need an explanation on this one.
I got a feeling.
Why?
I feel like Kyler Murray is just gonna
He
go.
gonna have a bad game.
He's gonna have one of them games where he just think he a gunslinger. And this is the defense, and one of the things, and their run defense ain't that great. So I feel like this when Robinson comes out of nowhere and just starts going off a little bit. So I'm trying to say, I'm just trying to say, like, I think this is when I think it's one of them ways that you know,
she's selling me.
trying to tell you.
And
I think
this is, you know, you're like, hold on, wait.
I think this is when
These are
Urban
good- these are
Meyer
good points.
also proves that this is when I can be an NFL coach. This is the game.
Damn,
This is the
okay.
game.
Okay.
I think it's the
I
game.
think this is Urban Meyer proof that, man, Kyler Murray is that motherfucker. Nigga.
I figured it. I'm on Jacksonville.
Speaking of truth, bro.
That's the truth, bro.
Rapid Arizona.
Oh my gosh.
I wanna go the other way. Cause I'm, you know, being an Ohio State fan, I believe in Urban so much, and so you know what I'm saying. Hey,
I don't.
They just haven't shown me.
but
anything.
Trevor,
I feel like
they haven't
Trevor,
shown
I
me
feel like
anything.
this. I feel
Trevor
like this
Lawrence
is
just don't have. They don't have a. He just needs.
Too
I'm
soon.
gonna wait on this
Too
too
soon.
soon. And they're rolling right now.
Right.
And so I'm
Chandler
gonna go
Jones.
Arizona.
Houston
I just
game.
feel like this.
I already know
Chandler
this.
Jones about to
Talk
give you
to us.
work.
I feel like this is the humble game.
Talk to me.
Arizona.
It's gotta be Arizona. I ain't seen much from Jackson.
Thank you.
It's the humble game.
Stop looking.
Washington versus Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Damn, man, you out of order, but go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm taking Buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Buffalo. Where is it at? Where's the game?
The game
Washington.
is wait.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Oh, never mind. Check on Buffalo.
You about to
Jets,
give him the whole
Denver.
field advantage?
All right, man. Listen.
Jets, Denver.
Ooh.
This is gonna be this is a good game.
Ooh.
Jets
Can
is
Zach
winning.
Wilson do something in this game?
No,
not with that defense.
Go,
I'm
bro.
gonna go. I'm
It's
gonna
in the
Denver.
altitude.
I'm gonna take Denver.
Marcus.
I think I'm gonna take them for the altitude. Yeah, I want to pick Jets, but I want
Same.
Broncos.
I want to pick the Jets. I bring 4 interceptions. And
Yes.
They playing even better defense.
I want to see.
Denver.
It's different. This is a way better defense. The Jets is a very bad. They're down wide receiver. Zach Wilson's still learning. Is gonna have to be
Is Jamison Crowder coming back though this week?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Miami.
I don't feel as bad taking them.
Miami versus Las Vegas.
Oh,
No
two is
Tua,
out.
no
Two
Tua,
is
no
out.
Tua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no Tua.
I don't believe.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna take the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, Las Vegas. Top Vegas.
Go with the Raiders.
Miami.
Hey,
Wait.
I know why.
I gotta know why.
With no Tua. What's going on?
No Tua.
Is Derek Carr going to be healthy?
Yeah, that's
I
a
think
good
he's
point.
fine.
That is a
What's
great.
wrong with it?
He suffered. I thought, what was it, a shoulder or was it a leg? No, it was a leg. It was a leg injury. It was a leg injury.
I still think they got a better team than Miami. Though.
They do.
I'm gonna go Raiders. Miami's offensive line.
They say he's good to go.
It's atrocious.
Seattle versus the Vikings.
Give me Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I want to see.
I'm going Seahawks and Russ I trust, and they ain't got a chance to fuck with Russ.
Have you seen Sierra lately? She's been really good, man. She gonna get
And Russ the truth, and DJ.
You mean Mr. Choke Job who just choked last week in Tennessee?
Hey,
Russell Wilson.
He choked.
Yeah, but yeah, we
My
talking
fantasy
about
look good.
shit.
Thank you.
Thank
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going with Russell Wilson.
Minnesota.
Thank you.
I hate to see that Minnesota about to be 0-3 next week.
Seattle cannot stop the run.
Oh, and
Dalvin is about to go off.
0-3.
That's what I
He's
said.
0-3.
He's hurt the Bengals.
Oh, Dalvin is hurt. Okay, I didn't know that.
Shit, I didn't know that either.
Oh, Madison gonna go off.
That nigga made a
Alexander
paper
Madison
mache-
about to go off.
Paper mache, man.
So, we got that.
Tampa Bay, LA.
Ooh,
No,
the
wait,
NFC.
LA
Rams?
Rams.
Rams, the
Ooh.
NFC. This is my NFC championship game.
I am taking Tampa Bay, but I'm taking it in overtime.
Oh,
I'm taking the Rams, and they're gonna win 27-24.
It's gonna be a great game. I'm going Bucks. I ain't betting
Bucks.
Rams.
35-28.
Oh,
Okay.
Green Bay,
Can't
San
stop
Francisco.
That's
Packers, Giants.
Packers, Giants.
Packers,
No.
Packers, Niners.
Packers, Niners.
give me the Niners.
Give me the Packers.
I'm going Niners.
Packers.
Niners.
We'll go back for a minute.
And the game of the week. Y'all know what's in y'all heard yet.
Philly, we out. Philly.
Dallas versus Philly. It's in Dallas.
Oh yeah, give me Philly. You shouldn't have said that. Give me Philly. Give me Philly.
Boys don't play the same in AT&T Stadium. But go ahead.
I'm not going. Jalen Hurts. I'm not a believer. I'm going Dallas.
Damn, Jalen on my fantasy. So he's
Yes,
gonna
they
be
gotta wait.
I'm going Philly. Sorry, guys.
Dallas by 14 points.
Oh, jeez. Can I get a score? Can I just get a score by?
I'm looking at probably 24 to 10.
Oh,
no.
my God.
I was going to say 34-24.
Over 10 points?
That defense holding them 10 points?
Yeah.
I don't know about that defense over 10 points though.
I would say 34. I said
That's why I said
34-27. 34-27. I say 34-27.
You gonna say two touchdowns?
Wow.
They gonna hold the Philadelphia Eagles to 10 points.
24 to 10.
America's team, huh?
24 to 10.
That American team made American defense.
He said, but that's how right there.
Uncle Don
That's
talking
not
right
my uncle.
there.
That's cousin Don. That's cousin Don, but y'all heard it here first.
I got Philly.
Devontae Smith about to go off too.
Amari Cooper not playing, probably.
So?
What?
Say it now.
And the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Amari Cooper,
We not the Bengals though. We win prime time games.
Expectations.
Not many.
Expectations. I'm telling you.
You better get back 45 for those 8 touches. This one down.
Amari Cooper.
Are we not worried about CD Dunn, bro?
Bro, the last game?
Like,
The last game?
Lamb the best receiver on the team.
Oh
Lamb the best receiver on
man.
the team. Cooper straight though, but like Lamb the best receiver.
Oh man.
I like Cooper.
In his second season?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like Amari ain't getting what 140 first game or so.
Yeah. Lamb.
All right, that's fair enough.
Right.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
But
it.
I love it. I love it.
I love Cooper though, but yeah. Lamb
That's
is
fair.
Lamb is that. Lamb is that. And
Nothing
hey, I could be coming back in a couple weeks. Like, yeah.
He will be. He will be.
You said Amari is hurt though.
Yeah, they said they don't know if he gonna play.
Oh wow.
Availability is the best
Quickly
ability.
with that Tampa Bay game, AB has to clear over protocol.
Not worried about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
He has
Well,
a clear protocol.
they're still gonna. It's Tom Brady, guys.
Yo,
Like,
yo.
we talked about that.
Yo.
Pick up Dalton Schultz on your fantasy.
Steve and Wes, Marcus, thank you for coming through to the 200th episode. Like, this has been a real journey.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, like, hopefully we
Congratulations.
Hopefully we can come to Yazoo one time and y'all will have us. Like, hopefully you'll have us. It's been a blast. Like the last 4 years, like I remember coming up with the show, thinking about it, and I'm writing T on Facebook, and Rand's like, nah, like y'all ain't about to just do the show without me, and it was like, and here we are, we done actually made it a long way, and we only growing bigger. So to 200 episodes, I really have loved you brothers. Like I spent a lot of time with you guys, and I can't wait to see where we go next.
Yes, sir. Only up from here, brothers, man. 20 down. Shit, 2,000 want to go.
Yeah, you feel? Talk to me, T. How you feel, man? 200 in. You remember when I hit you up about this?
Yeah, I'm at the party. We both Facebook. You talk about it at the party.
I was
Both
wasted. I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
But I remembered enough to talk to them about it the next day. But I don't remember that part.
But yeah, no, for 4 years it's been crazy, man. 200.
A lot of
Like I
life
said,
stuff. My man got married. I became a lawyer, and you know what I'm saying.
Kids,
You're a big that producing, and I got kids. Like, man, I am so proud of you, brothers, and y'all, of course. But you know, this 200th episode, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Blessing on blessings
shut
of
up.
all. Blessing on blessings of all three of y'all.
I
I'm gonna
appreciate
leave
it.
y'all with a quote. So only the journey is written, not the destination. So for y'all, man, blessings to all y'all. Love y'all. So I've known both of y'all for a number of years, and see, always love to y'all. I love y'all for real. So thank y'all for having me.
Sure,
Appreciate it.
And more we appreciate it. This is our first guest ever, man. And inside the locker room with Steve, I'll let y'all get some last words before we
Plug y'all podcast.
Plug it. Go ahead. Talk to us.
Social suit, man.
Once again, congratulations.
Can we have on the show one time though? Yeah, are we allowed? Are we allowed?
You guys, don't do that.
Are we not doing that? Hey, are we allowed? Are we allowed on the show?
I knew he was about it.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm just messing. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, but once again, congratulations. We are going to have you guys on the show. Come on, man. We are planning on having another season coming out in which we are trying to get another studio. And that's where we want to put you guys on.
Let's get it.
Thank you for spoiling the surprise, Josh. But
I
for calling us out.
You could have said that off air.
No, I couldn't
You could have
have.
said that off air.
But we are planning on having you guys on the show, and we definitely appreciate you guys for having us out here. Y'all can follow us at ITLR _ podcast on our social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, all that.
Hey.
He said, hey. No.
Urban chat. Play your social media. You gotta get your West, social, personal, social, all that.
So follow me on Instagram, IG Langston _ cool. You feel me?
Follow me on Instagram at Mosby Great. Yeah.
I'm mainly on Twitter. Just follow me at w.lewis.
Twitter. That's my shit too, man. I'm on everything. I know where to find it. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I follow the homies, man.
End this, bro. You normally don't end this. You
200.
normally don't end this, but it's the 20. You gotta end
real,
this.
bro. It's been real. We appreciate all the love, all y'all watching live, FB Live, YouTube Live, Periscope, all that shit. Man, we appreciate y'all. If y'all at home, y'all pull up, man, roll up to them.
Because we all taking a shot to the show, and I really, really appreciate y'all, man. Like we got people all over the world just watching the show.
Germany,
and
everywhere, Switzerland, everywhere, man.
And it's pretty dope. And we
New
just
York,
on the way
shout out
up.
to the 10, seems to be on IG. Shout out to 10, we call him. Shout out to him. Everybody, man.
I just
Appreciate y'all. TJ, I see you in the chat
Cuz,
too.
TJ, all y'all.
we got a lot of good stuff
Beat
planned.
down, all
And,
y'all, bro. I see you on the chat, all y'all.
we got a lot of good stuff planned for this upcoming. You know, we coming into another season, and I just really, really appreciate the support and everybody coming out. So, with that being said, it's down to the wire. 513 to my guys, Rand T. To my guests, we love y'all and we out. Thank y'all for having a good show. Peace.
Peace.
All right, let's forward up and get out of here. We gotta take a shot to the 20th episode. And I gotta keep it pushing. You feel me? I gotta get up in the morning, 5 o'clock.